Welcome, guys and ghouls, to a very spookshell episode of the Fire-Breathing Kittens podcast. Prepare yourself for an adventure full of heebie-jeebies, horror, and a third thing beginning with H. I am your guide through this episode, your dungeon master, or should the need arise, your crypt keeper. But pray tell, which unfortunate souls will be travelling along the road to their own destruction tonight?
I'm hoping I don't have my soul destroyed, but we'll see. We'll find out. My name is Skirmish Killington. I'm a level 17 barbarian, Path of the Wild Magic. Let's see, I'm about 7'7", green eyes. My skin is like a light bluish grey, and I've got what look like tattoos all over my body, but really they're just markings. It's the way I was born. I've got a nice crisp pair of pants as usual. No shirt, no shoes, but I'm ready for action. I do have a nice backpack with a lot of fun things for my enemies, and I don't know, very excited to see where we go.
Hi, I'm Stella. So I am a half dragon, half elf as well, but we don't need to go into that. And I am a sorcerer, also warlock now. And I've been described as hauntingly beautiful because I have long white hair and bangs and like silver horns and big silver wings. And also, like, my eyes used to be all blue, but now they're blue with gold stars in them. So that's cool. I'm wearing black with gold trim and gold, like, butterfly and moth patterns. And with me, I have my companion, Lenny. He's just a little halfling, about 3 feet tall, with brown hair and hazel eyes. And he has a crossbow, which he sometimes uses to shoot me if I don't know, get too crazy or something. But yeah, that's me, Stella. I'm excited to see what will happen.
My name is Rook. Hello, I am an old soul and an old person. I got a big white bushy beard, really bushy eyebrows that basically cover my forehead. And I have 2 shields strapped to my arms. One is for defense and the other one is for punching. It's just for fun. But so I'm a short little rock gnome, and I basically just wear armor and my shields, and I have not much on me as I'm fairly new to this, and except my painting kit. I do have my painting kit. You guys will see me painting on occasion the things around me. And that's Rook.
So, without any further ado, let us witness these poor souls as they embark upon their final journey into this mortal realm. I mean, let's play some D&D. Now, for everyone's collective sanity, I'm going to switch back to my normal voice now. Because I'm not sure anyone is going to enjoy this entire episode with me doing that voice. I already did it once, way back when I was voicing a character called Bilbo Bananigans.
Oh, that's great.
And that was ridiculous enough, I think, so we'll stick with normal. So, this rather unfortunate adventure begins on a dark, rainy night in Albion. The 3 of you are sat in an old, creaky carriage winding its way up an old cobble road on the cliffs of Calcool.
Well, hello everyone. I think we've met, I don't know, but I'm Rook and we're in a creepy wagon together. How's everybody feeling about this moment?
I'm just happy that it's nighttime because the sun, isn't that great for my skin. Just because it's so pale. So I'm just happy it's night. I wish it wasn't so rainy though. But, well, I've got this hat right here. I'm going to wear that to protect my hair. She puts on a witch's hat. With specially carved holes for the horns. How does it look, Skirmish?
Oh, it's lovely. I think if you could accentuate your beauty more, I didn't think it was possible, but you managed to do it, so fantastic.
Oh, Skirmish.
Hey, Rook, I'm Skirmish. I seen you around, I think. No, I'm excited to be in this carriage. I normally like being on mountains, cliff sides, things like that, so I feel like I'm at home. I don't mind the rain too much, although I don't want any rain to land in this mug of ale I got. It would water it down, make it not as appealing. You know, you want to give proper credit to the people that took the time to brew it and not sully it with water. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I understand, and I think Rook would pull out a stein with a sippy cup lid. This is what I do to make sure.
Oh, that's brilliant. Where did you get one of those?
I made it myself.
Ah, all right. Well, I will clink your glass. Clink.
I'm gonna bring out a flask, and then I'm gonna look at it and think twice. I'm just like, maybe not yet. And then I'm gonna take out a bottle of whiskey instead, and do the cheers with you.
Whole bottle, mate.
Oh yeah, you just met Stella. Don't worry, you get used to it.
Now, I should probably mention at this point that Albion is quite a long way from Guaso. If you imagine Guaso is effectively like South Africa, Albion is more like northern France. So you've been on this carriage for a really long time. So if you've only taken this moment to start chatting to each other, then either you've been having one hell of a nap or one very awkward time.
Me, I've been having one hell of a nap. I'm half dragon, so I sleep a lot.
I'm 300 plus years old, so I also sleep quite a lot. So maybe that was it. Sorry, Skirmish.
Oh, no problem at all. That's when you both were finally awake, I decided to, go ahead and start the conversation. It's been quite lonely with you asleep, but I know how important sleep is for your mental well-being. So don't mind me. I can entertain myself, mostly push-ups or, counting raindrops.
So, wait, DM, we said that 3 of us. Is Lenny here?
Lenny is driving the cart.
Oh, okay.
So is currently sat outside in the pouring rain, trying to wrestle this cart along the cliff tops.
Sure would be nice if they had a covered driver's compartment. Don't know why they don't make those.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But no.
Oh, well, maybe one day.
As you travel along this winding cobbled road, a clap of thunder sounds in the distance, and ahead of you on the cliffside trail you see a tall, imposing manor, and this is your destination. Your fellow guild member, sometimes friend, sometimes weird enemy, Gatsby, has invited you to this old manor house on the edge of a far-off country for reasons best known to himself, and has thus far refused to offer any sort of explanation due to what he calls narrative reasons.
Classic Gatsby.
He has instead insisted that he would explain upon your arrival, so you've travelled all this way for someone basically saying, trust me.
Wait a minute, well how did he get here? I just saw him in the guild hall. Are you trying to tell me he got here a different method, not in the rain?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because as your carriage pulls up to this large manor house, you do in fact see a much nicer, much less creaky carriage already there.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you want to be a wimp about it, I guess you could take something like that, but we're all tough guys and tough lady, right?
In retrospect, it was weird that there was only one carriage left available to you. And it was the oldest, the creakiest, the soggiest, the worst.
See, that one reminds me of like what we have at home. So this one's better,
It has character.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Rook, seeing that we're approaching, would like climb up to where Lenny's at, feeling maybe a little bad, and I'm gonna hold one of my shields up over his head and one over mine, and we'll let him dry off a little bit, and that's what I'll use it as an umbrella.
Yeah.
Now that we're at the end of the voyage.
Yeah, Lenny doesn't say anything to you just yet because he's busy trying to drive in a straight line. But you get the idea that if he were to speak, it would be in the sense of too little, too late. But you pull up to into the driveway, and you open the door and hop down. Lenny also hops down with a bit of a grumble.
I'll cast prestidigitation on him to dry him off.
Lenny looks grateful if miffed.
I'll give him a firm pat on the back with an attaboy, like, thank you very much for getting us here.
Just roll me a quick strength check.
Oh, all right.
You're a very tall boy patting a very small boy on the back.
Oh, it's a 15.
Yeah, he goes sprawling into the mud.
Oh, sorry. I help him up gently out of the mud, trying not to get mud on my pants.
You hear quite a lot of grumbling.
I shrug my shoulders and it's like, it's okay. Hey, do that thing again with the drying and the cleaning.
Oh right, yeah. Okay. I'll just wait until he's back up because if he goes back in the mud, I don't want to have to do it twice. Anyways, she's gonna wave her hand and all the mud's gonna come off and he's gonna be all dry.
Also, I'm gonna squeegee off the sippy part of my sippy cup with my shirt, and I'll be like, Here, Lenny, this will make you feel better, and I'll hand him some of my ale.
Lenny will take a little sip and feel a bit warmer on the inside. But at this point, two things happen. One, another bolt of lightning flashes across the sky directly above you. It's really loud and makes everyone jump, including the carriage, which rather inconveniently falls apart and collapses into a pile of rubble.
Oh, there goes our way back. Unless we just steal the other carriage.
Makes you wonder how we held it together this long. At least there's a nice carriage right there that maybe we can take back.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
I'm sure it was insured anyway, you'd be fine.
All right, so I wonder what's waiting for us back at the mansion. Do you think it's gonna be a party? Yeah. I know Skirmish likes parties. He's a party guy. But Rook, how about you? You like parties?
I think I used to like parties, but it's been quite a few years since I've partied, so I don't know. I'm unsure. We'll see who's there, and maybe I'll just sit in a corner. But I appreciate ale, and I appreciate you people, so it should be fine.
That's all that matters.
Well, thanks. We'll sit in your corner.
I may fall asleep, but, that's just par for the course.
Well, the front door is standing ahead of you.
A Rook is less concerned about things like creepiness and whatnot being so old, so I think you just walk up and knock.
You knock on the large front door of this old, tall, rickety-looking cliffside manor house, and the door creaks open.
Is there light inside?
There are a couple of candles, like on sconces on the walls. But as you go in, you find this large entrance hall with staircase leading up. But as you walk in, you see a figure coming out of one side door who calls you over with a voice you actually know, because this is Gatsby, who's arrived before you, long before you. And he says, welcome, mon ami. Welcome to Ennui Manor. It's great to have you here. I suppose, you're looking absolutely soaked. How come? Oh, is it raining outside? I never noticed.
Oh, no. This is the new style down in Guasseau. You've probably been here a bit too long. I imagine you got here way before we did. And if you'd like, you should come outside and, live up to the new fashion.
Exactly.
I am, okay. But you must be absolutely starving. Wouldn't you come in and have a bite to eat? We've got all sorts of local delicacies you can tuck into, and also quite a lot of quite bad food, which I'm sure, Skirmish, you would be a fan of.
I'm a fan of bad food, as long as it's food.
Yeah, where's your fancy stuff?
Well, define fancy stuff.
I'm not sure. Something like this. She pulls out some old bread from a bakery that she forgot about. That's has carvings and stuff in it, and it's just it was probably several gold when she bought it, but now it's very stale. It's oh yeah, like this.
Yes, the fancy stale stuff. Yes, we've got plenty of that as well. Don't worry.
Ooh.
I'm sure I can make some things stale for you. We've got some fresh baguettes right in, but if you would like them stale, then we can make them stale. It's no big deal.
I'll go for the fresh stuff. And do you happen to have a nice goose liver pâté?
Well, I'm sure we've got some sort of pate hanging around. I'm not sure if it came from a goose.
Oh, well, that'll do then. My tastes have gotten a little bit fancier thanks to my new girlfriend. Girlfriend? That's right. Yes.
Is the food visible to us?
Not yet, because you're standing in the entrance hall, and that would require going into a slightly different room.
Can we smell it? Like, is the aroma attracting us?
Yeah, you can definitely smell food, but it also intermingles with the general musty smell of the manor as it is. So it's quite a dry kind of, you know how old buildings smell.
Indeed. It smells just like the carriage.
Yeah.
Hey, Gatsby, I'm down for food. Can you point us to where it is?
Oh yes, just follow me. It's in the room behind me. I was stuffing my face before you arrived. So yes, come in and take a seat. We shall talk. I did a little bit promise you to explain why you're here. So I thought this would be a good narrative opportunity to fill you in on the details.
Go right ahead. I'll be stuffing my face while you do it.
Yeah, I'll walk in.
Yeah.
You follow Gatsby into what seems to be more of a kitchen than a dining room. It's kind of, one of those kind of cross ones where it's got like a breakfast bar sort of a thing, but it's also quite old. So an old breakfast bar, if you will. On various tables, there are like stacks of meat and, let's say, pancakes and a nice cornucopia of bread, let's say, and all sorts of stews and soups and many pastries. There are so many pastries, you could basically fall asleep in them.
Well, I'm gonna immediately head towards like a soup or a stew that seems appropriate for the moment, and just dish up, start slurping it down, getting it in my beard.
You end up picking like what tastes like a potato and leek kind of a soup. It's very hearty, if a bit tasteless.
But it does taste good.
Yeah. I mean, to your aged taste buds, you don't really taste anything anyway, so.
I'll be like, this stuff's good, guys. You should get in on it. And I just slurp it down.
Well, why did you drink from the entire container? I don't know when to eat after you or eat after your beard.
There's a whole table.
Well, okay, I'll just try this different soup, but I'm going to ladle mine into a bowl, to share.
I suppose that would have been more socially acceptable.
Well, they have weird conventions up here in Albion. I was reading a book about it. Apparently, you're supposed to be erudite and polite.
Were there books in the wagon? And were you reading while we were asleep?
There were, but once I was done, I went ahead and threw them out because it was just weighing the carriage down. I must have thrown about 15 books out of the carriage. You were asleep a long time.
That's the issue, Skirmish. They were load-bearing books.
Well, that explains why the carriage fell apart. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I guess that's when the bumping started. That's what woke me up. Yeah, I want to try this soup too. And then she tries it, but then when she blows on it, it literally freezes. Like she takes some and then she just like, oh, this is what happens when I write soup. It's okay. It's frozen soup. And she eats it like ice cream.
That's gross.
That's the spookiest thing of all.
French onion ice cream.
I can think of worse types of ice cream.
Yeah, I'm also gonna try the meat. What kind of meat do you have?
There will be some, let's say there's some goose and some gammon and some unidentified meat, which is kind of on skewers.
Is it is it a full creature? Or is it just slabs of meat?
It's just chunks.
This is what you call street meat. You don't ask questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna try some of that and just be like, interesting. I've never had this type of meat before. You guys know what it is? Oh, here's one that isn't frozen.
I'll take a bite. Does it taste like chicken?
You know what? I'm gonna make you roll a dice. This is what we're here to do. Roll me a perception check, but with disadvantage due to your aged taste buds.
I'm also gonna roll.
Well, I rolled 2 3s, so I don't really need to look. but I do have good perception. It's a 10?
You can successfully identify this as meat.
Ah, yes.
Can I try?
Yeah, go for it.
I rolled a 16.
Okay, has Stella eaten much exotic meat?
Yeah, definitely. She eats mostly exotic meat.
Okay, so this tastes somewhere in between hippopotamus and dwarf.
Dwarf.
So,
I'm glad I'm eating soup.
Somewhere in between those two.
interesting. So I took one bite and it tasted kind of like hippopotamus, and then another bite and it tasted like dwarf. And don't ask me how I know that.
It's one of those things where you don't really know how to describe it, but you're like, it's somewhere in between hippopotamus and dwarf, and everyone else looks at you as if to say, I didn't realize there were 2 points on a scale.
I don't think I've ever... Well, I guess I should try it. Yeah, I'll just keep eating it. It's fine. What could go wrong, right?
I would like to keep looking around the table to see if there's anything more familiar, like goat or chicken or, something like that.
Well, there's some goose right there.
Yeah, there's some goose, and there are probably a couple of pies around the place.
Okay, I'll try some goose.
You tear off a leg and start chomping away.
Correct, yes. Well, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, certainly seems like goose. Still got the beak and everything.
Excellent. Well, that's how you know. They keep the face on there so that then you don't get tricked.
I feel like there's like a famous Albion restaurant named Certainly Seems Like Goose.
Well, yeah, it's called Je ne sais goose.
Je ne sais goose. That's funny.
Oh, wait, this is a fancy place. Do you have any brandy?
Why didn't you say so? I've been drinking most of the supply so far tonight.
Well, if you'd be so kind, may I have a bit?
Ooh.
Oh yes, I must say we're running out a little bit, and he just opens up a cupboard, and you see barrels of brandy, cognac, all the good spirits are in there.
Oh.
As you can see, our supply is running dangerously low.
Oh, indeed. When is your next shipment?
Well, that's kind of one of the things I was here to discuss with you, as I received a letter not too long ago from the executor of my uncle's estate. Basically, well, actually, I've got the letter here, and he reaches into his jacket and pulls out a letter which he unfolds. Okay, let me read this to you. Dear Mr. Silvestre, I am writing to you on behalf of G&G Fricht, the executors of your late uncle's estate, in relation to his last will and testament. Forgive us the possible delay in contacting you. We were given to understand you had gone traveling, and our delivery donkey may take some time to catch up with you. It's true. It is our understanding that upon the eve of his death, your uncle wrote a new will to include his gifting of Ennui Manor to you, on one stipulation. You must spend one night within the walls of the house during the Festival of the Moon. I am aware you may find the terms of this bequeathment trivial, but I must insist that you follow the instructions to the letter if you wish to receive your inheritance. Yours, Howard Spectre, G&G Fricht.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say to me that your last name is Silvestri? I didn't even know you had a last name.
Well, I don't like to use it so much. It makes suing me a lot easier.
True.
Yeah, I get that.
That was a very well-worded last will and testament, though, and Rook pulls out his own that he has written, just in case. And he takes some notes, I think, on the table, just to update a couple things, just to make sure he's ready.
It's SKIRMISH.
Oh, don't worry. I'm already writing that you are getting my sippy cup lid. Don't you know?
You are a scholar and a gentleman.
And then he tucks it back into his jacket, and he's like, any day now. And he taps it fondly. So we all have to stay here?
Well, the letter stipulated that only I had to stay here during the Festival of the Moon, which is as it so happens tonight. So it's good you got here when you did.
Yes. Perfect timing. Thanks, Lenny.
Perfect timing. But I thought, why not invite some friends to, come and hang out? I thought it'd be a good time. We could, stay in, swap scary stories, have some food, have some wine. We'll just make a whole night of it.
Yeah, I mean, oh my god, you got the perfect people for that. And if you want to party, I'm your gal.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think I invited you?
Usually people invite me to move heavy furniture. So if you need that...
That's why I invited you. There's quite a lot of
I was curious.
wardrobes and things upstairs I probably want to move out. This is all very last century sort of fashion.
Excellent.
Skirmish, I may be tiny and old, but I, too, am known to move some furniture, so I can help you on that. And I'm going to cut a piece of the questionable meat off, and I'm going to put it on a plate, and I'm going to hand it to Lenny and say, this one apparently tastes like dwarf.
Isn't it here?
It's a halfling, I think.
Oh, then that's not a problem. That's not cannibalism at all.
What does Lenny sound like?
Like basically anything. I don't know if anyone's been using an accent for him.
Okay, Lenny will take a little bit of the meat off, kind of eye it strangely, eat a bit, and then just look at you and say,
Tastes like hippopotamus to me.
I would like to exhale in relief as he says that, like, oh, all right, good.
Yeah, I guess you remember that time that we had hippopotamus. Yeah, that was when we were still at, like, the Argentine estate. You liked it there, didn't you, Lenny?
That was the worst night of my life. It haunts me still.
Yeah, see, that's why we didn't stay there for long. But, yeah, so, Gatsby, like, I'm glad that you wanted us to, like, hang out with you and party and stuff, but, like, do you think there's any other reason why, like, the will stipulated to spend one night besides just getting used to the place?
my uncle did die under some rather mysterious circumstances, and tonight does just happen to be the anniversary of his death.
Oh.
So there could be something in that, maybe not. Maybe the solicitors just have like a sense of poetry. Who knows?
How long have you been here? Have you noticed anything while you were here, or...?
Oh, I've only been here maybe a few hours.
Huh.
Yes, the house was all ready for me to hang out in. Wait till you got here.
Wait, was the food here, or did you prepare them?
Oh no, the food was already here. Do you really think that I would put in the effort to prepare all this food? No, of course not. It was already here.
Where did the fresh food come from?
The what?
Like there was some fresh bread, I noticed. Like bread that wasn't as stale as this thing.
It's all relative.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
You know what? I was always told to never look a gift horse in the mouth, and actually, I think that's what that meat is.
Oh, good, you've got horse.
A gift horse.
Excellent.
That might be a gift horse, yes. Is it somewhere between hippopotamus and dwarf?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that's a gift horse.
Well, isn't everything? I mean, those are the ends of the spectrum. I'm going to go ahead and dig in.
Oh yes, you will go enjoy yourself. Sorry, I think I heard the door. I will be right back. Just give me 1 second. And Gatsby wanders out of the kitchen/dining room for a few moments.
Well, I'm fine with all of this. How about you guys? This pretty standard. I'm gonna go over to the casks and refill my sippy cup with some cognac, maybe. That sounded good.
I'm gonna go into the like Stella's been like kind of salivating over this the entire time, but she's gonna go into the liquor cabinet area. Are there any like fancy loose bottles around there? Even empty ones? Stella hoards booze bottles and booze in general.
Yeah, sure. There's what they'll do is they will also hoard the really nice bottles and then just bring like the barrels of like cognac and brandy and stuff in, and then decant it into the really nice like crystalline bottles. So you can find one which is actually let's say you dig out one which is shaped like a sleeping dragon.
Oh my god. I want that one.
So it's kind of like curled around in like a conical sort of a shape with the head pointed up, with the mouth open, which is where the stopper is.
Nice.
Yeah, Stella's just gonna like take it and admire it, and and like she's so torn because she really wants it. Well, yeah, she's gonna ask Gatsby for it when he comes back. But in the meantime, she's just gonna put it in her. She's gonna like take out her little black handkerchief, open it, and put it in her portable hole. She's like, oh my god, this is gonna be my centerpiece.
Well, if it helps, you do also see 2 other like identical ones.
Oh boy.
So you don't need to feel too bad.
So that was a very long trip, and I didn't want to be impolite when we first got here, but I really need to find a loo. So I don't know if this is one of those fancy manners that has it on the inside, or if I need to go back out into the rain, but I really need to go.
Yeah, Skirmish, you remember seeing what looked to be a toilet just off the main hall, just in a slightly different door. So if you wanted, you could just pop outside.
Yes, I will give a polite excuse because I'm trying to be more polite in general. It's like, excuse me, I need to freshen up a bit after such a long trip. And then I bow and I make my way to the toilet.
You open the door and go back into the entrance hall where Gatsby is standing by the front door looking a little confused. And as you walk in, he turns to look at you and like wanders over and he says, you know, the strangest thing just happened.
Oh, yeah?
I heard the door go and I went to go and open it and there was no one there, but you are right, it was raining quite a lot.
Yes. That is a mystery. And the whole time I'm dancing like I really got to go. And it's like, so, do you want to discuss it further? Or shall we... what suits you?
Well, I will go back and have another drink because either I've had too many or I've had not enough.
Yeah.
And there's only one way to find out.
You're right about that. I'll join you in just a bit. I really need to check on that door right there.
Ah, yes. You need to take a trip to the Wiz Palace.
Yes, that is what we call it in my land too.
Wiz Palace.
Well, I will not hold you back. In you go. Mind your head.
Thanks. And then I bonk my head because the brandy was very strong.
Yeah, if Gatsby goes to back to the liquor area, he'll see like Stella like putting stuff in her portable hole, and she's like, I wasn't doing anything. Never mind, you got me. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Oh no, that's okay. I've probably taken more than I care to admit to. Anyways, are we having more drinks or what?
Sure.
So at this point, Skirmish will come in and say, hey Gatsby, your bathroom was broken. I mean, it was definitely broken before I got in there, but it's definitely broken now.
Yeah, sure it was, Skirmish.
No, it totally was. Did you check? You should have told me. But anyway, I went ahead and went, and I feel a lot better.
I'm fairly confident there was more than one toilet in there.
Oh yeah, well, okay. Well, the one that I used was barely working, and now, well, where's the brandy?
Oh, here's some. She points to a barrel.
Excellent. I pick up the barrel and I just start going to town.
You're gonna have to use the bathroom again at that rate. You should slow down just a tiny bit.
Oh, I appreciate your wisdom, oh aged one. I will do so.
Well, while we're here, and while we've got plenty of brandy, I've told you why I brought you here. Who would like to share a scary story?
Ooh, do we have a fire around which we could tell such stories? That's the way to do it.
I've got a fantastic idea. I can do quite a lot of fire things. I could just set fire to this pumpkin here.
Ooh, very nice.
So we have a fire. Let me go turn everything else off. And one by one, all the other candles in the room are extinguished, only leaving this flaming pumpkin.
It's a good thing we showed up when it was so stormy. That really adds to the ambience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear the thunderclaps in the background. And with the fire, ooh, I like this.
I think at about that time you guys hear like a cupboard like creak closed and then like back open when you look over and it's just Rook and he's like testing the hinges of the alcohol cupboard. Needs oil just to something to think about if you get this house. Anyway.
Oh, weren't you a home inspector back in the day, Rook?
Yes, that was my first foray in retirement. It was quite boring, but gotta appreciate good construction, I suppose. Sort of just wiggle a table leg furiously.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna, to add the atmosphere, I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion, and I'm going to be like doing illusioning some like smoke that takes like spooky shapes around the pumpkin fire.
So who would like to share a scary story? I'm sure you've all got one, like, repressed from childhood, that you heard as a small nipper and were too scared by it that you ran off and broke the toilet like Skirmish did.
It was broken when I got there, just for clarification. But just to change subject, I'll go ahead and tell you a story. I don't know how scary it is, but I remember hearing it when I was little. So back in my village, we live on a mountain, and story that there was this fable or myth, legend perhaps, of a man named Mafalde, and he was from our village, and he was, when I heard the story, I was about 11, and as the story begins, he's an 11-year-old boy, very bright, very curious, just wanted to learn about the world around him. But one day, he disappears. And nobody knows where he goes. And everybody's concerned. A month passes, 2 months. People start to just think he's dead. And it's very sad, but it's a reality. It's very harsh in where I live. But 4 months after he disappears, he comes back. And he doesn't look very different, but the look in his eyes is, you can tell he's been through some things. And the gentle boy that once was is no longer. And he's totally focused on studying and training and hardening his body and his mind. And he actually, legend says, is the one who created the first defense force of my village at Hirins. And he's very successful. Like, he is singularly focused. And we enjoy more safety. So it's very nice, but as it turns out, he's not just defending our village. He's going out and attacking others just relentlessly and without mercy. Just destroying whole towns, women, children, animals. And turns out he's looking for something called the Bloodstone. It's legendary, and it's supposed to make him invulnerable. And he stops at nothing to try to get it. One day he's sleeping with one of his many consorts, and the consort learns that her whole family was slaughtered by Mafalde. And so as he sleeps, she kills him by hammering a spike into his head. He dies, pool of blood in the bed, and those sheets get infused with his spirit. And as it turns out, his ghost starts appearing all over town. Not in the town, because it's protected by this lady, whose name is lost to history, unfortunately. But every once in a while you'll see him looking, reading a book or practicing fighting. The worst of it was, though, is little children that would go out alone. They would get recruited by this ghost of Mafalde to join his army to look for the stone, because he believes still to this day that if he is able to find the stone, he can come back and live forever. And the children that disappear, mind you, I was 11 when I heard this story the first time. I was one of those children that went out, and I did see the ghost, and I ran. And those that weren't so lucky would be found weeks later with an M, the letter M inscribed in their forehead, carved jaggedly with a knife. And Mafalde's still out there, and he's still kidnapping children, and nobody's safe. Nobody knows how to stop him. But from then on, nobody ever went out alone and only went out in groups. And whenever the ghost was seen, we ran, because there's no stopping him.
Ooh. That was quite spooky.
Yeah. Man, you said that you saw the ghost.
And just for clarification, did it make you forget all about the broken toilet?
No.
Yes, I did see the ghost. Or what seemed to be a ghost. He was reading a book under a tree.
What do you look like? I'm curious.
Ethereal. I haven't seen too many ghosts. He was not completely opaque. You could kind of see through him. It was dusk. It could have been a play of light. I don't really know. But there was a spookiness about him. Like the air around him, if I could describe it, was darker than the rest of the world. Like it was kind of bright, but around this guy, it was dark. And you could kind of see through him. And there was just an eerie silence. The birds stopped chirping and the animals stopped chittering. And it didn't sit right with me at all.
Whoa. That's scary.
Well, that was terrifying. I suppose I could go next if you guys want to hear another one.
Oh yes, please do. Please do, and I will take another quaff of whatever the hell this is.
Well, once I was, back when I was an adventurer, like now, but when I was younger, I found myself in a creepy town, and I suppose it was maybe kind of like on a night like this, but I had responded to a hero board call, whatever you call them, and we had showed up because apparently there was a lich in the town raising the dead. And when I showed up, there was an old friend of mine who was there too, responding to the same call, and so we decided to team up and figure out what was going on with this lich. And we talked with the townsfolk, and they told us that they kept seeing these lifelike undead roaming the town at night, and no one could figure out what was going on. And we went out to this house on the edge of town, and I suppose it's kind of like this one, and the mist rolled out from the house, and as we approached, the gate creaked open on its own, and it was quite scary, and we went up and we're looking for this lich because apparently he had a book, he could raise the dead. We were figuring we could just get the book and keep him from doing that. It seemed like an easy thing. And my friend foolishly decided that ringing the doorbell would be a good idea. And so he went up and he pulled the cord and rang the doorbell, and the floor just dropped out from underneath us. And we fell down into this pit. And when we landed in the pit, I quickly lit my lantern and I raised it up, and there were faces all around us, creepy, undead faces staring at us in the darkness, but they wouldn't move. And then I switched my light around to the other side, and the shadows danced, and they were all just staring at us, eyes wide. And then my friend noticed in the corner there was one of them standing holding a book, and inside the book was all sorts of diagrams for bringing things back from the dead, and my friend decided that he would just go take the book. It was so easy. It would be simple. We could be done, and then we could figure out how to leave. And he grabbed the book, and as he grabbed it, a hand reached out and grabbed him on the arm. And he was so frightened that he clutched his heart, and he fell over, and he had a heart attack, and he died. And that's when all of the lights came on, and it turns out that it was just like a spooky shop. And the guy was just trying to make like a themed sort of thing. He was very nice, and it was a huge mistake. Unfortunately, though, my friend did die, and so that was apparently sad. But we had a nice memorial in the basement of this spooky shop, and then the guy let me out. But yeah, it was spooky. It was very spooky at the time. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I raise a glass to your friend and say, "To Rook's friend."
Yes.
And I take a swallow.
To Rook's friend.
I've had many go over the years.
And yeah, that's why I don't ring random doorbells without having my trusty flask next to me. Oh, yes. So since we're sharing spooky stories, I might as well tell one as well. So, once upon a time, there were two sisters. They were twins, identical in every aspect. Their names were Matilda and Griselda. Now, Matilda was the one who would always get all the luck. She would get the best grades. People would favor her. Griselda was always kind of just the one who got the rest, you know? So one day, Griselda just decided that she had enough, and she decided to murder Matilda. And she made it look like an accident. She had been planning it for quite some time. They were walking along a cliff, playing as girls usually do. And, well, Matilda happened to slip and fell down the cliff. And, well, Griselda was like, that's going to solve my problem. So she went back and told everyone what happened, except when she went back, they thought that she was Matilda. They called her Matilda. And she was like, wait, no, actually, then she decided to go along with it, see what would happen. So she just became Matilda. She began to get all the good things. She graduated her school with the top marks and everything like that. But there was always something missing, something extra. She would always see right next to her, right next to like whoever was praising her, she would see Matilda's face. It was always in the shadows, always lurking somewhere. So, but she didn't think much of it because she had such a good life. She became rich. She got everything she wanted. One day, she even married a man, a noble, and she was poised to inherit his estate and everything like that. But the night that they got married, something happened that would forever change Griselda's life. That night, it turns out that he had died. He had fallen off a balcony. So when he came back, when they were going to fulfill their marital duties, it wasn't him that she saw. After everything had happened, she saw her sister's face, and she went and jumped off the balcony. And they say that you can always hear her yelling, "I am Matilda," whenever you go back there.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yes, it was a story that I had learned about a long time ago. I don't remember who told it to me. Yeah, I don't remember.
I knew a set of twin ladies once, and that tracks.
Well, what about you, Gatsby? Do you have a story for us?
I think I could cook one up, yes. So, this particular story is relevant to the house we are currently in. So, it was 13 years to go tonight since my uncle Nicholas died under mysterious circumstances. See, all this information comes from the local villagers because no one who was in the house at the time is alive to tell the tale, on account of Uncle Nicholas being the only person who lived in the house at the time. But it still reigns true. So, around 13 years ago, Uncle Nicholas, for no apparent reason, apparently started hearing voices around the house, whispers, where there was no one there, and music, despite the fact that he had fired his violin player only the summer before. Now, we just put this down to age or just mishearing things, but he started to insist, apparently, that there were people in the house, people that he could not see, people that only he could hear, because he had people inspect, people such as yourself, Rook, who would come in and inspect the house, and they told him nothing was wrong, despite the fact that he swore he could hear rustling from behind the walls or whispering round the nape of his neck, but still nothing until one night. This story comes from the gardener who happened to be around the area at around now. Actually, it was about to hit midnight. What the gardener was doing at midnight, I do not know. Probably just waking up in the bush. We have a lot of booze. But the gardener swears he heard shouting around this time. And Gatsby looks at a pocket watch. I was looking at my own wrist and I was like, do they have watches in this world? Who knows? Pocket watches, yeah, probably. Gatsby looks at his pocket watch and goes, right about now. And as he says right about now, you hear from the main hall a large clock start gonging. Right about now, he heard a blood-curdling scream from inside the house. So he ran away. He ran down to the village to go and get help. But once they got back, there was no sign of Uncle Nicholas. No sign of the struggle. Just nothing.
That's creepy.
Yes, it's very creepy indeed.
Yeah, well, what a mystery.
Well, the question I have is, how did you manage to synchronize your pocket watch with that large clock? That was incredible.
I've been working on it all, for the last couple of hours.
Amazing.
Well, there's a reason we do all this pageantry stuff, is just to make a nice dramatic impression.
Narrative reasons.
Yes, narrative reasons. Obviously, you get to talk.
Yeah, I understand.
Whatever you do, it's good to add a bit of drama, a bit of flair.
Just as you say that, Stella, from seemingly out of nowhere comes a strong gust of wind, which it completely extinguishes the burning pumpkin, leaving you all in darkness.
Well, I'm just going to cast light on my staff, and it's going to glow really bright, and you can see the outline of the carvings and stuff, like the dragon's wings on the walls.
Your staff lights up, and in front of you, the entire room looks remarkably different to how it used to look.
Ooh.
So the walls, where before they were nice and a clean kind of off-white sort of a colour, now they look a very kind of grungy sort of a brown. There seems to be some sort of liquid almost seeping from the walls. In front of you on the tables where once was, a feast of lovely pies and soups and unidentified meats, there are just rotten carcasses lying before you. The pumpkin is now green. The goose is full of maggots on the inside. The unidentified meat is exactly the same.
The scariest part of all.
And the bit of bread skirmish that you're about to tuck into suddenly is full of flies.
I start spitting out repeatedly, like so, which you do when flies get close to your mouth. I'm glad I ate when I did.
Yeah, I pick up a piece of the mystery meat, and this is impressive. Preserves, I'm not sure, but interesting. Everything else seems to have become rotten.
Wait a minute, and then I go to the barrel of brandy, and I take a nip. Does it taste even finer? Has it aged even more?
No, it in fact tastes like vinegar.
Oh my god.
Oh, then I spit it out and kind of rub my teeth because it doesn't feel very good.
How about the fancy bottles that were there?
The fancy bottles are now intricately shaped intestines.
Ooh. Oh, interesting. Still gonna take one.
If you're into it, then feel free.
That's kind of gross. What's in there?
Let's see. She's gonna take a swig of it.
Of intestine.
That's where poop lives.
Yes, Stella, just roll me a quick Constitution saving throw.
What's my Constitution save modifier? Let's see. It's a plus 12. Oh my god. Natural 20 plus 12 for 32.
Okay, whatever it is, you're cool with it. You can't quite place the taste. You get the feeling that maybe due to your natural draconic heritage, that whatever it is, you're just cool with it. You get the feeling that if anyone else drank it, it would be doing some serious damage. But to you, that's good.
This is pretty good, actually. Who knew that that something would come from something shaped like intestines would be so tasty? You guys want to try?
No, thanks.
Well, I mean,
Sure, I'll try.
okay.
I hold up a cup for you to pour a little intestine juice in.
I'm gonna pour it. What? How does it look like? What color is it?
It's very brown. but not like a good sort of brown. It's very goopy, and there are bits floating in it.
Well, bottoms up, and I'll toss one back.
All right, Rook. Constitution saving throw from you as well.
An 11.
What's the best way of saying this? Rook is now poisoned.
Oh my god.
And also, I imagine you'd throw up.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I have something against poison. I have advantage against poison. Is that damage or is that? Let's find it. Is that the condition?
I think that would be poison damage, but we'll worry about that later.
All right. I puke all over the floor in the meantime.
So I watch Rook puke all over the floor, and I think to myself, it's not that much worse than it already is with all this nastiness in the food. That's remarkable.
I guess I do have a bit of a tolerance. After all, I did once drink a god, so...
Well, we've all drunk a god. It's a...
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, I've got a tavern now. We do a Thursday god drinking. It happens all the time.
Ooh, I'd like to go.
I need to get out more, apparently. The world has changed.
All right, I turn to Gatsby and say, hey, I appreciate the ambiance you're trying to create. Your story was, fantastically creepy, and then this really amplifies it. So, can you bring the food back? The good food, not the maggoty one.
Well, you see, the issue with that is that all this, and he gestures towards all the rotten food, the seeping walls, the puke on the floor, that wasn't me.
Well, I know where the puke came from. That was Rook. But the other stuff, you cannot change it.
No, that was not me. That was not planned. I'm as surprised as you are.
You've been here for a few hours and this hasn't happened before?
Not even once.
I want to get an insight check on Gatsby. Like, what is his emotional state? Is he like surprised? Is he a little bit scared? Is he just like cool with it? Is he pulling our leg? I want to try to roll insight on him.
Yeah, go for it.
Did not roll very well. That's like a 7. Yeah.
The most you can gauge of his emotional state is tipsy.
Tipsy. Just like I think that he's still pulling our leg, and
It wouldn't be the first time. Let's just leave it there.
yeah. So I'm just like, good one, Gatsby. So now, like, when does this party start?
This was not me. Okay.
Sure.
Do you really
Winks.
think I would sacrifice a load of booze like that? No.
I know, Gatsby. That's true.
Can I, is there only one way in and one way out of this room, or are there 2 doors?
There was the door you came through, and there will be, let's say there will be another door at the far end, which probably goes into which would normally go into like a pantry or something, where you will keep all the food.
That's kind of what I was wondering. Can I go open that door and see if there's other food, basically, and if it's also rotten?
Yeah. So you go over to where it just the sign on the door just says pantry. Let's say. You open the door, and in front of you, it's not quite what you expect. Instead of a pantry filled with food, you see a long corridor heading off into the distance.
Hey guys, this pantry's a tunnel. If you know what I mean. It's not. There's a corridor. It's not a pantry. Is it as rotten?
Yeah, the decor, as I would describe it, would be organic.
I would like to take a piece of bread from the table that's all fly infested, and I will throw it down said corridor.
Smart.
You throw it down said corridor. It bounces a few times on the floor and then just seems to dissipate into the carpet.
Into the carpet.
Well, I don't want to. I think we should not touch that carpet. Looks like it was digested, perhaps. I don't know. I don't want to be digested.
Let's see.
does seem logical. Can I go grab a cask of the vinegar booze?
Yeah.
And, okay, so I'm going to heft that over there, and I want to uncork it, and I want to pour it onto said carpet without stepping into it, but I want to see what happens as I'm, like, shaking the vinegar booze out onto the carpet.
Yeah, you pour out the vinegar onto the carpet, and it does also seem to just absorb into the carpet itself.
I want to try something. I say in character. So then Stella's going to take, I don't know, another random, like a gross piece of food with her mage hand. She's going to cast mage hand. And I'm going to cast light on the piece of food. So then the light goes, I think it's concentration, so I can't have two things at once. I'm going to double check that. But either way, the light goes onto the piece of bread. And she's going to, with her mage hand, just reach, go to the carpet, try to touch it with the bread of the mage hand. And what happens? Does it keep on going?
It would touch the carpet, so there would be a definite, solid point. But you start to feel through the magic a kind of a suction-y sort of a force going downwards.
I would like to, that just reminded me, I have a property where I could, it's a sort of detect magic awareness, and I would like to open my awareness to the presence of concentrated magic, and then I can know what magic exists and the school of magic it is, and I'm going to go ahead and do that by the corridor.
Okay, so you let off your, let's call it a radar of magic. You don't get so much of, occasional blip of magical energy that you do. The entire area is very magical, and if I were to categorize the magic, I would say icky.
Do I sense the same icky magic coming from the dining room? It's within 30 feet I can detect.
Yeah, you get an icky sense everywhere.
Hey guys, there's icky magic all around us, just so you know.
Not surprising.
I'm not a magic user. Is that one of the schools of magic, or is that...
I don't know if it's a formal school. It's kind of like, when you go to school and you should be learning your math, but instead you're smoking in the boys' room.
Yeah.
or girls' room.
I've done that before.
Yes.
That's
Youth.
this kind of magic. That's this subject.
I see.
All right, I haven't done that before then. Okay, so first of all, I can't cast the spell more than once and have it on two objects. So then the spell on the light on the staff goes out. Does the light on the piece of bread go out? I'm gonna keep on I feel the suction. I'm gonna let it. Does it take my hand through the carpet? That's what I'm trying to see.
I think it would take the bread and leave your
see.
mage hand.
Okay.
Ooh, I've got an idea. I like breaking stuff. So I've got an alchemy jug, and one of the things I can do with the alchemy jug is get poison. So I'm going to get, I think it's about half an ounce of poison if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, half an ounce of poison. I'm going to put that at the tip of one of my javelins, and then I'm going to throw the javelin in the corridor right into the carpet, so it just sticks, boom, right into the carpet with the poison tip in the carpet. What do I see that happens?
So you launch your javelin covered in poison. As it sticks into the carpet, you hear sort of an unearthly sort of a scream coming from everywhere and nowhere, and the carpet itself seems to ripple in not quite sadness, not quite anger, more like a oh no sort of a...
I think you made the carpet mad.
I imagine it's like a tummy. This is just a giant tummy, and it's eating stuff we throw down it, and I just made the tummy upset with the poison.
Funny you should say that, actually, Skirmish, because from the far end of the corridor, you see rushing towards you is what appears to be some kind of tidal wave.
Okay, does this corridor have a door on it?
The one you're standing by, yes.
I would like to calmly say, excuse me, Stella and Rook, would you mind stepping toward the dining room? And I will close the door and then kind of brace myself, I guess, for the impending vomit tidal wave that's coming my way.
Yeah, I will. Also, get out of the door, I guess.
I'll get down low beneath Skirmish, because I'm so short, and I will also brace the door.
Okay, Skirmish, give me an athletics check, but with advantage because you're getting help.
Oh, fantastic. I got a 30.
All right. You hold this door as you can hear, like, oncoming from you is like a great sloshing wave of ick and bile and all sorts of nasty stuff coming towards you. You feel it kind of like slam up against the door. It almost pushes you over, but you manage to keep leaning against it. You see at the edges of the door, you do see a little bit of nasty stuff like just creep its way through, and you hear a sizzling kind of a sound. You smell like burning wood as if that liquid is eating its way through the wood, but for the time being you do seem to be not dissolved.
Rook, what kind of wood is this on this door? It's quite a secure door. I'm surprised it handled this so well.
I'll rub it with a finger and then taste it. Can I make an investigation check to know what kind of wood it is?
Oh, you're going for the wood. Okay, not the
bile.
I'm sure I get a little bit of that too, though. But yeah, he asked me about the wood. I'm not worried about the bile.
Yeah, actually, do me 2 rolls. Make 1 investigation check and 1 constitution saving throw.
Okay. Well, the investigation was good. That was a 19. Constitution saving throw is a 14.
Okay, so it would have... I mean, you're already poisoned.
I am indeed.
Well, we'll say you take... let's say 5 points of acid damage, because you do end up getting a little bit of the bile on your fingertip. But you could tell that it's a mahogany door frame. It's been fairly well made.
A sturdy mahogany, Skirmish, and it burns me as well, but I think that's separate.
If you'd like, I don't think we have to keep pushing on this door. We can leave and go to a different room, perhaps upstairs.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. But that's interesting. It's like the thing threw up. Do you think, is this house alive?
I won't rule it out, but it does seem strange.
I would like to investigate as I go back from the pantry area to the banquet room. The seeping on the walls, I'd like to look at the liquid that is coming out. Is it a consistency of like blood or sweat or maple syrup or what exactly is it?
Something definitely along those lines. It is quite viscous.
Looks like we've got a classic sweaty, bloody, syrupy wall situation, and I'm not familiar with what to do there. So, Gatsby, is there some kind of insurance payment that you didn't pay, and now this is a consequence?
I mean, it's entirely possible, but, so, a whole lot of spooky things going on. It's, the anniversary and all that, and not to mention it's the Festival of the Moon, which is, our traditional kind of a spooky vibe, kind of an evening. So, they say it's when the walls between worlds is thinnest. It could have something to do with that, or maybe it's just an insurance thing.
And we have to make it all the way until morning and it's midnight? Is that what we're on right now?
Yes, well, that was the original plan. I mean, we were going to have a great time as well. It's really depressing. I'd book like kind of games and everything, and I had a whole morning planned. But no, I guess we've got to go digging through this mush instead.
Well, I didn't mind a game of cribbage first, to take our mind off of the vomit that almost engulfed us.
Well, that stuff's like in the parlor, so an entirely different
Yeah,
room.
we can make a drinking game out of it. So, why don't we go to another room, like why don't we go to the parlor?
Well, that sounds good to me.
Are you doing okay, Rook?
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about my vomit that almost engulfed you, but no, you're the big one. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh yeah. No, I stayed clear of your vomit.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if a drinking game is appropriate since all the booze is now it's ruined.
Well, I've got some in my in my stash. She's gonna pull out a bottle of whiskey. One for each of you.
Oh,
I've got some bad news, Stella.
Oh yeah.
That ain't whiskey no more.
Is it vinegar?
It's worse than that.
Oh no. Okay. I'm just like, no, I stole this from my dad. This was good stuff. Okay, we got to find out what's causing this, and like, I don't know. If it's alive, then kill it, because this is not acceptable. She pours it out and puts it.
Well,
I'm
maybe
like,
don't pour it out. If it's just a curse, maybe it'll turn back.
maybe. Yeah, maybe once we kill that thing, it's gonna be cursed.
Stella, I will just let you know it is now very cheap white wine.
Oh my god.
I thought the spooky stories were over.
She just like, she tries to take a swig and then just spits it out. It's just like, what is this? And then she just like, she had poured one out before Skirmish told her not to, and then she's like, maybe you're right. I'm just gonna mark this one, and she's gonna like draw an X on it and then put it back in her like portable hole, and just be like, all right, now let's find what's causing this thing.
See, poison, fine. Cheap white wine, no.
Exactly.
You've got to have standards.
That's true. All right, we head out. I'll lead the way.
Okay. Do we have any more light?
Oh, yeah, you're right. She's going to like cast light on the staff again and just like tap it on the ground.
Well, thanks.
There you go.
I would be right with you. I think I just need to tie my bootlaces.
Oh.
And Gatsby just kneels down for a bit. I will catch you up. Do not worry about me.
Stella, I'm getting a little bit
Got
overwhelmed.
the bunny ears, and then one goes over the other.
Oh, let's wait up and make sure that he's all right tying his shoe, because
No, it's okay. Don't worry about me at all.
If we're gonna stick around this rotten mess in this house, could you change? I know you do your magic and can change smells and whatnot. Can you make it smell like flowers or, something nice?
I'll try. And then she starts casting prestidigitation on the area around her. Does that do anything?
What sort of fragrance would you like to try and go
I'm
for?
gonna go for Stella's favorite smell, the smell of good whiskey.
Let's say if you try and make the smell of good whiskey, you make the smell of cheap white wine.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna try
You've
something.
made it worse.
I'm gonna try something a bit more like mainstream, I guess. Roses. What does those smell like?
Roses will turn out to be wet dog.
What?
Ah.
Oh, wet dog.
Okay, this is messing with my magic too. I'm gonna try like making like enchanting a piece of clothing on me. Does it make it smell bad, or is it like I tried the area around me, but like if it's on me, then what happens?
What smell are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for I'm gonna go for oh my god. What smell can't I go wrong with? Oh, pine. Let's try pine.
Oh, pine. Very good.
Bad news, you now smell like Skirmish.
Ah, that's much better, Stella. Thank you very much. This is great.
What is that smell?
It's delightful. What do you mean? It smells like a day of hard work. Like a good, satisfying day. Ah, thank you, Stella.
I'm gonna cast that spell on Skirmish and make him smell like pine, and then I'm gonna make. Ooh, what if I try dog poop on me? Is it gonna be the opposite?
You know what? Yeah.
Is it gonna? I'm gonna smell nice.
Yeah. You aim for dog poo. You smell like lavender.
Oh, this is pretty nice. And I'm gonna make Rook smell like corpse.
Okay. You aim for corpse. You end up with apple.
Nice.
You guys
This
smell
is great.
great.
Yeah, this is
We all three do.
So it's like the opposite of what you're trying to do. Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to test something out, and I'm going to cast Ray of Frost just like at the wall, at a random wall, see what happens.
Fire bursts out of your staff, and it doesn't quite set the curtains on fire because they're far too goopy for that sort of thing, so the fire is quenched fairly soon. But you do start to smell some burning, nasty organic smells.
I make it smell like what I smell, so it's the opposite. And I'm just like, oh, so this does, like, if you do magic, this does the exact opposite. Because I mean, you know me by now, Skirmish. I do mostly ice stuff. I tried to cast an ice spell and it turned into fire.
Well, that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Are you still tying your shoe, Gatsby? I know you've got 2 of them.
Oh, yes, well, I mean, it's very complicated. It's very fashionable, in fact, to have laces, like, everywhere. But yes, I think I'm just about done.
I guess those shoes do go all the way up to your hip, so that's quite a lot of laces you got to
They
get
do,
through.
yes. It's these are actually the short versions. The long ones go, like, all over your body.
I can't even imagine how long that would take.
Takes forever.
So are we still in the kitchen? I will nose my way out of the regular door and take a peek.
Rook, you nose your way out of the regular door, and what you see beyond it, you can't quite believe. And that's where we're going to have our break.
Whoa, cliffhanger.
What could it be?
Whoa!
Oh, man.
Whoa! All right. Thanks for listening to this first half of a particularly spooky, quite icky, in retrospect, episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. We'll be back in just a few short moments. Go and make yourself a drink, or, I don't know, take your headphones off and sniff the air. Revel if it doesn't smell like vomit or feces or anything nasty. If it smells fresh, just be glad. It doesn't happen to all of us, especially not our adventurers. So we will be back for the second half in just a moment.
We hope that you're enjoying this episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. This episode's shout out is from J.M. Rodriguez 1, who says, quote, Fire Breathing Kittens is my favorite D&D podcast. Keep up the fun adventures. You make the roads less long. End quote. Aw, thank you. Can you think of someone who might enjoy this podcast? Please share it with them. Is their birthday coming up? A special day? We can wish them a happy message on your behalf. You can arrange for us to read your shout out on air at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com through our partnership with the website Buy Me a Coffee. Do you enjoy reading books? You can find ebooks, paperbacks, hardcover novels, and audiobooks based on our adventures on Amazon.com. The authors do a great job of adapting the stories into fun novels. We also have official merchandise on Redbubble.com. Imagine owning a notebook with the Fire Breathing Kittens logo on the front, or a t-shirt with one of your favorite characters. Lastly, we don't pay to advertise our show, so the only way we can grow is if you tell someone about us. Is there an episode that would make that person smile? Tell them about it. Thank you.
Welcome back to this spooktacular episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. It has gotten rather grim, has it not? If you were listening from underneath your sofa cushions for the first half and didn't quite hear properly, that's entirely understandable, but our adventurers of Skirmish, Stella and Rook arrived at Ennui Manor, a cliffside manor on the coast of Albion, which is about to be gifted to their friend Gatsby, who has been given the house on the proviso that he spends a night there during the spookiest night of the calendar. So, what's happened so far is we've had some spooky storytelling, we've had some rather nasty catering going on, and we've also had a corridor that's tried to throw up on them. But the last time we saw them was Rook nosing his way through a door. So, what does Rook see? Let's find out. Rook, you nose your way through the door, and in front of you lies the entrance hall, much as you saw it beforehand, apart from the view outside. For as you look around, you see where there was once a door leading to the outside walls. There is no door. Ooh, it's just plain oozing wall, your standard stuff. But also, through the windows, you see where it was previously raining, now it's just red
But I can I see through the window, or is it just
You
pure...
can see through the window, but outside appears to be kind of a red kind of void
Hey,
kind of area.
hey guys, I suppose this probably isn't too much of a surprise, but it doesn't look the same as it did before. You guys want to come take a peek, and I'll open the door and make room for everybody.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in too and take a look out the window.
Looking out of the window, you see what can only be described as a waterfall of blood cascading down. But the thing is, the waterfall isn't above you. No, the house appears to be at the top of a waterfall that completely encircles the house. So if you imagine you're effectively just on a big old plateau and there's just a waterfall of blood cascading down into nothingness.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Is the goop, for lack of a better term, that's covering the door, like, moving, or is it just sludge on the wall again?
Well, there is no door at all.
Oh,
It's
it's just gone.
It's just wall covered in goo.
Oh,
Your
okay.
standard stuff.
So Skirmish will look at the goo out the window and on the walls, and he will nervously start looking at the bathroom that he destroyed earlier. Because if everything's changing, I'm really afraid of what that's going to become.
While we're here, actually, Skirmish, give me a perception check. Actually, all of you give me perception checks.
All right,
Woohoo.
I got a 12.
13 for me.
I got to 21.
Okay, well, we'll start off with Skirmish. You hear a faint wailing from the bathroom area. It's up to you whether you want to try and investigate it, but I think you know what you'll find behind it, and you may also decide that it's best left undisturbed.
I casually, just very nonchalantly walk over to the door and close it gently, just like, oh, somebody needs their privacy, and I just close it.
Meanwhile, Stella, on the top of the stairs, you just catch a faint glimpse. You can't quite be sure, but you think you see what looks to be a ghostly form leaving the room up to the left. And Rook. Actually, Stella and Skirmish, would you mind taking your headphones off?
Okay.
No problem.
Rook, from the nape of your neck, you hear a whispering noise.
Ooh.
As you turn around, you can't quite put your finger on where it's coming from. But off to the side, you do seem to see a door that, if you concentrated your elderly ears towards, you would hear the whispering start to get louder and louder.
Is it voices, or is it just, like, incoherent?
It's somewhere in between, so it starts off as incoherent, but the more you concentrate, you feel as if you understand the voices, but it's just slightly out of reach as to what they actually mean.
And is this door in relation to where we've been, or is this a whole new...
No, this door is, say it's on the opposite side of the entrance hall to the kitchen dining room area. And while we're here, give me a wisdom saving throw.
That would be a 9.
This door presents a really enticing target for you. You are suddenly overcome with the urge to investigate what's behind this door.
Okay. I would like to sprint over to it then, and I have my shields. Do you think it would be strong enough of a desire to get into this door quickly that I should try to, like, bash it open? Or am I, like, I'm still in my right mind a little bit?
You're still in your right mind a little bit. It's more of an overwhelming curiosity.
Okay. Well, then I'll just I'll jog over and I'll crack it open.
Yeah. Then we'll bring the other two in. All right, Skirmish and Stella, you've both seen/heard your own thing, but then your companion Rook seems to be taken by some strange idea and starts running over to what seems to you two to be a portrait of some like general on a battlefield with a horse.
Hey, Rook. Oh, where are you going?
Wait, do you guys you don't hear that? Well, there's this door here. I just want to open it, and there's something I can hear on the other side. I just want to take a quick peek.
Okay, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm always here to lend a hand when it comes to opening doors. So I pull out my hammer. Can you point to where the door is?
It's right in front of you. It's right here, and I'm looking at this painting, I suppose, that is there as far as they're concerned.
All right, I shrug, and I whack it with my hammer as hard as I can.
Two things happen at this instant. As you swing your hammer towards this painting, two large ghostly hands leap out of the painting. One of them grabs the hammer and holds it firm. The other grabs Rook. It's almost as if the general in the painting, his hands have flown out of the canvas. One of them stopped your hammer, Skirmish. The other one is grabbing Rook and trying to drag him into the painting.
Oh boy.
I will ask Stella for help. Hey, Stella, would you mind helping us out?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm trying to see what I can do here, because I feel like I can do something, but boy, I'm just going to.
I like to imagine, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that I'm like lifted off the ground at this point.
Oh yeah. You've been like grabbed like bodily around the waist, and you're being like lifted above the ground and like pulled towards the surface of the painting.
Well, what I will do, I don't want to lose my hammer, so I always keep one hand on it, but with my other hand, I'll reach into my pack because I know exactly where everything is. I'll take out my rope of entanglement, and I'll hold one end and say, freeze, and the other end will reach out and grab Rook and just tie him up. And I've got one hand on my hammer, one hand on the rope, and I'm trying to pull both of them away from the hands.
I know what I'm going to do, but I'll let you describe what happens. There is something. I know what to do.
Okay, Skirmish, give me a quick... let's go for a strength saving throw. This sounds like a...
All right, I got to 25.
Okay. You keep hold of both the rope and the hammer. The hammer comes loose, but you do start to hear kind of a ripping noise coming from your robe.
Yeah, so... what I would like to do is I would like to use my staff to cast Wall of Force right where the wall is. So like, yeah, an invisible wall of force springs into existence at a point you choose within range. The wall appears in any orientation you choose as a horizontal or vertical barrier or at an angle. So you can form it into a flat surface made up of 10 by 10 foot panels. So yeah, I'll just cast like Wall of Force on the entire wall, I guess, like as much as I can, because it's 10 by 10 panels. And if a wall cuts through a creature's space when it appears, the creature is pushed to one side of the wall. Your choice which side. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It's immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by Dispel Magic. The wall also extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the walls. So I would like the ghost thing, whatever arms, to remain on the other side of the Wall of Force, and Rook to remain on our side of the wall.
Nice. That would be a great solution in the regular world.
Oh boy.
You get your wall, certainly. But it's a wall of knives now.
Oh no.
Ouch.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that.
So, oh boy, what happens then?
Yes, please tell me.
Imagine, if you will, a load of magical knives spring into existence about half an inch from Rook's eyes. He is being held in place by two opposing forces, one of them being Skirmish in his rope of entanglement, the other one being this portrait ghost kind of a thing. A proper pull from Skirmish would free him. A proper pull the other way would rip the robe and send Rook flying through a cloud of daggers into the painting.
Quite the conundrum we're in here, guys.
As soon as I see, well, number one, if they let go of the hammer, that's fine, I drop it. And as soon as I see the knives, I grab the rope with both hands and yank as hard as I can.
All right.
For clarification, DM, it says that the rope has an AC of 20.
Okay, so let's say that will be your DC then, for Rook's Eternal Soul. Roll me let's call it an athletics check.
I think while he's about to do this, Rook just, has one hand free and he reaches in and pulls out his will and testament and just clutches it lovingly to his heart as a just in case.
I got a 30 for athletics.
38.
No, just 30. Flat 30.
Oh, I've just a 30.
Just a
Just
30.
a 30. Nothing
Just 30.
exorbitant.
No, nothing too major, just 30. With an enormous effort, you put your entire weight into pulling back on this rope, and with a, not quite a squelching noise, but with maybe a cracking sort of a noise, Rook flies back into your arms, and the arms on the portrait kind of like zoom back. And you could swear that the general in the picture looks quite angry with you.
I take my little will and testament and I tuck it back in and I say, well, not today, but all right. And I'll stand back up and gather my shields.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop that wall of knives spell and just be like, I paid a lot of money for this staff. Like, I think near 30,000. If it's a scam, I'm gonna go and break it over whoever's head that sold it to me.
Well, I mean, Stella, you did. Your magic does seem to be a little wonky right now. It might be the house.
Oh, you're right.
Staff might be fine.
I almost forget. I always think that like someone's trying to scam me. So
That's a cautious way to live, I suppose.
As far as the general look on the painting looking angry, as soon as I have Rook in my arms, I ensure he's okay, and he looks like he's fine, just a little tangled up in the rope. Take the rope off of him, but then I stand up proper, and then I point at the painting, and I'm unsure if it's just the influence of the brandy from earlier. I just start laughing my arse off, like, ha 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 ha, right at the painting, pointing, and then I point at Rook like, oh, yeah, he's still here, look at that, and then I, right back at the painting.
Your laugh echoes throughout the entrance hall, and from somewhere far beyond, you swear you could hear something else laughing back at you.
Are they laughing at me or with me? That's very important.
At you.
Me? At me? Oh, come on.
okay, we gotta find whatever is doing this, whatever is changing, making things opposite, and also laughing at Skirmish. Like that's not okay. And if it's you, she's gonna point to the general. Well, one painting is gonna get ruined. That's for sure, or more. You have a family of paintings.
Can I want to throw something at the painting.
Oh yeah, be my guest.
Okay. I'm looking at what I got real quick. I have a pot. I have an iron pot. It's 10 pounds. I would like to pull that out of my pack and I go, take this, and I throw it as hard as I can at the painting, right at the general's face.
Okay, yeah. You, for want of a better word, yeet the pot over. So it hits the portrait, and it actually knocks it off the wall, and it lands face down with a thunk.
Is there anything behind the portrait, or just more goop?
There's more goop.
I would like to pick up the painting and take it to the pantry.
Before you pick it up, my suggestion would be to pick it up and face it away from you.
Yeah, good idea.
I don't want you to get grabbed.
Well, then what I will do is, okay, it's face down on the floor. I'm going to step on the back of the painting. And then, like, if you were on a skateboard or a plank of wood, just kind of goes slide, 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 all the way to the pantry while it's face down. So I'm scratching it all over this nasty floor. And then I open the pantry door just a peek to see if all that bile is going to come out. And if it's still there, I hop off the painting into the banquet hall as the reflux covers the painting.
Yeah, we'll go for that second one. That sounds more fun.
Oh, you really don't like people laughing at you.
Well, I assume it's an opposite house, with the ice and the fire, so they were laughing at me, but they probably meant to laugh with me, so I'm not gonna take it personally.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I should tell you guys, I saw like this ghost figure at the top of the staircase. Yeah, just putting that out there. There might be more ghosts.
I saw a door.
Saw a door?
And a voice wanted me. Well, it wasn't a voice. It was noises. It was whispers, and it made me very curious about that painting and what was there. But it was just a painting, I guess. I don't know if the door is still there.
Rook, the whispering has stopped, and as you rub your eyes, you can see that the door is no more.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe the house is alive, like we talked about it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What's Gatsby doing?
Yeah, I wonder what happened. Oh, yeah, and where's Money? While we're speaking of that.
Where are they indeed?
Oh.
Who knows? Because as you look around, neither Gatsby nor Lenny are anywhere to be found.
Oh boy.
I didn't mean to rhyme that, by the way. It just happened.
They did say they were going to go to the parlor, so we could go there. Is that upstairs, or I guess Gatsby's not here to tell us. Could look around.
Yeah, let's look around. I'm curious what's upstairs.
Stella, you're from a fancy house, right? Do you understand fancy house layout?
Generally, yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. I live in a shack. Let's go!
All right. Well, I'm curious to see what's upstairs. We haven't been there yet. So, up the stairs we go. And I'm gonna just like fly up the stairs. Cause I got wings.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh.
why not? If you had wings, why would you not, like, why would you not
she's
fly?
not very athletic. She has a strength score of 8. If she has the choice to not take stairs, she'll take it.
Well, I will pick back up my iron pot and stow it in my bag and follow.
I will also pick up my hammer and take the traditional path up the stairs.
Okay, Stella flies, the other two walk. The stairs leading upwards are very wide. They creak as you put your weight on them. Nothing particularly strange happens because we need to get things moving. The stairs make their way up to like a halfway point, and then they split, one going left, one going right. Stella, you remember the ghost you saw previously went up to the left, which, as you look, there does seem to be one door just ajar, and if you peek in that gap, you can see what seems to be maybe a table covered in felt.
Okay, and do I see anything on the stairs to the right, out of curiosity?
On the stairs to the right, you see what you think might be some sort of library. You don't really know for sure. Like, libraries are for nerds.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, there is a library. That seems kind of boring. Libraries are, as they say, for nerds. The ghost went over there, and I feel like telling him off. You guys want to go where the ghost went?
Yeah.
I'll just follow you.
Yeah.
I'll back you
All
up.
right, I'm gonna go to the left.
Can I touch the felt table?
Yes, you can.
Just like rub my hand on it? Just out of
Yeah.
like home inspection curiosity.
Yes. You wander into this is the parlor.
Oh, okay.
The table in question is about 12 feet long, about 6 feet wide. It's covered in felt, and there are pockets at each corner.
Is it a pool table?
Well, who could possibly say? I could. It's a snooker table.
Oh, wow.
That's a bit big for a snooker table. I mean, dimensionally.
Dimensionally, that's accurate to a snooker table.
Oh, well, I guess you play it different in Albion. That's fine.
In the center of the room, so just off to the side of this table, you all see a ghostly figure, not looking at you at all, but when you walk in, it recites some words, and the words are thus.
Do you hear them? The whispers? They come at night. I ask them to leave me alone, but they only laugh. You hear them too, don't you? No. I think I must be going mad.
And the figure fades into nothingness.
And we all heard that?
You all hear
Yeah.
that.
Well, I don't know if it's the same, but I almost heard the whispers with the painting downstairs. I wonder if that's what it's talking about. It's nighttime, and Skirmish, you said you heard someone laughing at you, right? So,
Laughing with me,
Oh,
I
sorry, right,
will
opposite
assume.
house, opposite house.
But yeah, no, I mean, we're all this close to madness, so I understand what this ghost is talking about. It's
Yeah.
not a problem. You just got to roll with it, frankly. And this guy looks a little uptight, so just be cool, and maybe we could play a game of snooker. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll play with us. Maybe we'll win some money. I'm not traditionally a gambling type, but, you know, we're going to spend the night in this creepy house. We might as well have a little fun. I was looking forward to the sleepover, and I have yet to have fun.
Yeah, you got me at gambling. Let's do it. But yeah, we're friends. Like, it's always better to have more people to party with. Lenny, Gatsby, she's gonna like call out.
You receive no response.
They're not here. Oh, we should keep on looking for them so we can play a big round of snooker or poker. Because I'm really good at poker. I won millions of soul coins. That's how I got Lenny, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Are there balls on the table?
Yes, there are.
Is it set up?
Yes.
I would like to break the... Yeah. Do that.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to roll the ball into the other balls.
Yes. How would you like to do it?
Gently.
Gently.
A
Okay.
soft tap.
I'm glad you said that because as you tap the balls like against each other, Skirmish, you feel a fairly light tap on the back of your head.
Hey, I have a theory. Do that again with the balls. Not so hard, though. Just very gently.
Okay. I'll do it one more time, and I roll the ball into it.
Tap. There it goes again, Skirmish. The back of your head gets a...
Okay, to confirm, I'm gonna ask you to do it one more time, but a bit harder. Just to make sure.
Okay.
Don't worry, it'll be funny.
All right. I will take out my portable RAM that I have.
Yeah. I'm listening.
And I will give him a whack.
Oh my god.
Because that's the only item I bought besides normal stuff.
Skirmish goes flying across the room, crashing onto a drinks table and taking, let's call it 15 points of damage.
Was it fun?
You're right. Yes, absolutely. So, by the way, don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I think the balls are us. Or that one you kept hitting is me, at least. In fact, can you hand me that ball? I'd like to pocket it in my pocket.
I'll clamber up onto the table and walk over and grab said ball and pick it up.
Cool. I'll dust myself off from the drink debris.
Yeah, you feel a bit shaky on your feet, Skirmish. Naturally, you've just been thrown across the room.
Yes. Can you hand me that ball, Rook?
I'll very softly hand it to him. I won't toss it.
I'll go ahead and put it gently in my pack.
You drop it in your backpack and you feel like a weird kind of like drop.
Nice. I shiver a little bit. My shoulders kind of go back and forth, and I go, oh, yeah. Hey, these are us. Find out which one is you.
Which one is each of us? Let's see. So how many?
I guess I'll just... I'll just start tapping each one a little bit at a time.
Yeah, through the power of deduction, you eventually manage to find a ball that more or less hurts when you tap on it.
I'll be like, well, Stella, this one's yours, and here's mine, and I sure hope our other two friends have balls and they didn't feel that, but I guess we'll leave them here for now. I'm not sure.
Or maybe we should take them with us to make sure that no one else comes in here and plays snooker with them. How many are there, by the way?
Let's see. Standard snooker, you'd end up with 15 reds, yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, black, and a white one. So, that.
About 20.
I'm just gonna put them into my portable hole.
Oh. Okay.
Well, we'll find out the ramifications of that later.
I put them in there very gently. I make sure I go into the portable hole myself and set them in a nice cozy place. You know where the bags for the fancy, the really fancy Captain Morgan brandy is? In one of those. I put them in one of those bags so that they're safe.
Okay.
I will keep my own though, and I will also place it into my bag.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep mine on my person as well.
So that was weird.
Absolutely. That's great that Gatsby had a table made just for us, representing us through balls.
Yeah.
Where to next, friends?
Is there more to the parlor?
Let's see, there's a snooker table, drinks table, a sofa with some very comfortable looking chairs. Well, ordinarily they would look quite comfortable. Here they seem to be covered in what you can only assume is various skins, and if you got closer to them, they also appear to be made of bone and filled with maybe a bit of muscle, a bit of blood. You know, if you could imagine, let's say one of Skirmish's relatives has just been killed and made into a chair without much sewing going on.
Oh my god. Those are the worst chairs I've ever seen.
I was going to say,
Well, hold on now. They're not that unattractive. What are you trying to say?
I mean, they're all twisted
mean-
and all bloody and skin and bones and ish.
Okay, yeah, they're only going to be so attractive, but I mean, there is a passing resemblance to my sister, and I'm not saying I want to go out with my sister, but she's not unattractive, you know? Look, this chair is nice. I wouldn't sit on it. That's a little too close for comfort, frankly. But the chair is nice. Come on.
Well, I guess that part of that that pattern on that specific part of it's okay. If you ignore the rest of it. Oh, here. So she's gonna cast minor illusion on it and make it patterned and look more like a normal armchair. That's better.
Do you remember what magic does around here?
Oh right, I forgot. In another character, Stella would 100% do that. She's not very smart.
No, I'm just prepping. The armchair now looks exactly like Skirmish's sister.
Oh, is that how your sister looks like?
Oh. Not quite in that position. That looks very uncomfortable. Is that you, Avalanche? No response.
Just like her.
Yeah, just giving me the silent treatment. Look, I'll just apologize. I'm sorry for whatever it was I did. Can we just be civil about this?
And then I make the magic disappear.
Oh, thank goodness. That was very uncomfortable.
I forgot that it does that. Oh boy. Well, is there anywhere else we can go? I'm gonna look around for some doors.
Give me a perception check.
All right, perception. Oh, good roll. It'll be 26.
Would the other two mind taking their headphones off?
Sure.
Okay, Stella.
Oh boy.
Do you like music?
Yeah, generally. I do like music.
That's good, because from what appears to be behind you, you hear a tinkling kind of a music, which seems to be coming from a door you seemingly hadn't noticed before.
What kind of music is it? So it's like a tinkling music.
It's a tinkling kind of almost nursery rhyme-like music. So it's a music you used to hear when you were a child, but slightly off key.
This brings me back to my childhood, back to when I was a baby, and I was just like, oh wait, I know this song. This is nice. Yeah, she's gonna say that out loud. Oh look, guys, there's a door here, and there's some nice music playing from it. We should definitely investigate.
What do you hear?
You don't hear the music? It's like from a nursery rhyme. It's coming from that door over there. I think we should go in.
is there a door?
There is actually. It's neither of you seem to have noticed before, but certainly enough. There is now a door there.
You see it, right, Skirmish? Because we did this once before, and there was ghost hands. So
Yeah, I see the door.
okay,
I didn't hear the music, though.
me neither.
Stella, would you mind holding my hand? I mean, I know you're taken. I'm not trying to put the moves on you, but just for safety.
Yes, I'm sure May wouldn't mind. And then, just like, yeah, let's go and check it out. She seems to have gotten a little bit brighter and cheerier somehow. And then she's gonna like skip to the door.
As they skip away, I do want to poke the weird flesh cushion just once. I just out of sheer curiosity.
What are you poking it with?
Just my finger.
Okay.
It feels as if you're poking a rubber glove filled with maple syrup.
That checks out. All right, I'll go on.
Stella, you lead the other two through this door. You, for some reason, can hear music through. It leads into what appears to be a study. There is a desk in the middle of the room. Surrounding the walls are taxidermied animal heads, which all appear to be staring directly at you as you enter the room. It's not creepy at all. You try and convince yourself.
She like looks around and says, Sterling, come here. There's some playmates for us. She thinks Skirmish is Sterling for a second.
Oh, okay. I turn to Rook and say, Sterling is her brother. I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay, I was gonna ask. All right, Stella, are you what's going on in there? And I point up at her head.
Huh? I don't know. It's just these things look fun. See, they're watching us. She's gonna like skip over to one and like reach out and try to pet it.
Which animal would you like to go for? I'll give you free choice.
Okay, I'll go for let's say that there's like a white tiger. I'm gonna go for that one. Ooh, a cat.
Okay, yeah, the white tiger, as you reach your hand towards it to kind of like brush its nose, the white tiger bites down on your hand, snarling and trying to tear your hand off.
No biting. Bad kitty. She's gonna like hit it on the top of its head with her other hand.
I will, since I'm right there, I will grab the mouth of the tiger and try to separate its jaws.
That sounds sensible. Let's call that another athletics check. I know you're getting a lot of these today, Skirmish. I will promise to make you do like an intelligence saving throw at some point.
No problem. No, I prefer the athletic save checks. It's fine. I got to 29.
Okay, you pry the jaws of this tiger open, releasing Stella's hand. You pull it back, Stella, and there are 2 kind of bloody furrows. So we'll take maybe 10 points of piercing damage off you for that.
Ouch! That's one bad kitty. She's gonna like rub the marks on her hand.
Well, we're back with you, Stella, actually. You've pulled your hand back, and the music is still continuing in one of your ears. And as you look over towards the desk, you do see an ornate-looking music box just resting on top of the desk.
Okay, I'm gonna say, yeah, this is our music box. Come, Sterling. And she's gonna go toward it.
I can tell she's referring to me at this point. And when she mentions the music box, which is highly suspect because she's not all there, I will quickly run to grab the music box. And is there a window in this room?
Yeah, let's say there's a nice, like, impressive-looking kind of like domed window which looks out into oblivion.
Okay, so that's a beautiful window. I hate to destroy it, but I will hurl the music box right through the window.
Okay, Stella, how do you react to that? You see Skirmish running over, grabbing the music box, and what looks to you to be attempting to throw it out of the window.
She's gonna like run up to him and be like, no, I want that. She's gonna like grab onto it and try to like wrest it out of his hands and like fly backward kind of.
It's for your own good.
Why are you always telling me what to do? What's with that? No, I want it. She's gonna like try to yank it back.
I would say, how would you prefer? I've got a stuffed giraffe. It's very nice. Would you like that instead? It's beautiful.
A giraffe? Ooh.
Yeah, I got it from the... Remember when we went to the zoo a long time ago?
The zoo?
Oh, sorry, you were with your friends, not your brother. Remember when you went to the zoo and you helped those koalas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the koalas.
This is a stuffed giraffe from the zoo. Why don't you have this instead?
Okay.
And then while I hand her the giraffe and distracting her, you see, I'm being sneaky. And then I toss the music box out the window.
Stella, you hear a smash as the music box goes flying out of the window, and slowly but surely the music does fade from your mind, as if you stood and watched it, you would see the music box just plummet into nothingness as it followed the waterfall of blood down into depths unknown.
Yes, then Stella's going to, like, kind of come back to her senses at that, and she's like, ooh, I'm holding a stuffed giraffe. Oh, was this from the zoo? Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, do you mind if I have that back? It means a lot to me.
Yeah, sure. It's very soft, though. She's going to pet it a few more times and then give it back to him.
Okay, thanks. And I explained to Rook and Stella, it's like, look, there was this painting. It was wild. Rook wanted to be a part of it. We had to stop it. And then Stella wanted this music box. We had to put a stop to that. I can only imagine I'm next. So whatever happens, just get rid of what I'm trying to get to. And where is Gatsby? It doesn't take that long to tie a hip-length boot.
Yeah, let's keep on looking for them. Man, yeah, that music box just, like, reminded me of my childhood, I guess. So, what else is around here? And I'm gonna look around, see if I see any doors or anything like that.
You just have the door that leads back into the parlor.
Okay.
I would like to take one of the taxidermied heads. The tiger, perhaps, that was biting on Stella. I'll just take it with me. You never know when that'll come in handy.
Stella hisses at the tiger.
But I'll point it away from me. I'm not... The face isn't pointing to me. I'm pointing it out.
Okay, so you, like, string it up, like, over your back, like a backpack.
Ooh.
Well, more like on my front, like a tiger amulet, like a giant head on my chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sounds fun.
It makes me look virile. You know, like a man.
Stella hisses at it. Does it hiss back, or, like, is the magic gone?
Yeah, the magic seems to be gone for it. That you can tell.
Okay, interesting.
I like Gatsby. He's a great guy. But I don't like this house at all. And so, I'm kind of for smashing the house. But Gatsby seems litigious. So, what do you think?
I mean, if my magic works differently, I can do really powerful ice magic. We can also light it on fire after we smash it. We can just burn this place down. Even though the fire didn't seem to, like, I don't know, it was too wet. Like, it didn't really stick. It didn't start burning anything. Just made it smell bad.
I think we need to find the source of magic of this place.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something that's messing it all up.
Yeah, let's keep on looking.
I guess we could go back out into the parlor, or...
Back to the parlor.
You open the door to the parlor, but what lies beyond it is not the parlor. You find yourself in a very cold atmosphere. So you open the door and a rush of cold air flies over you. The temperature drops and you find yourself in a stone room with a large item standing up on the floor. It's about 7 feet tall, covered in a cloth. And once again, you see this ghostly figure pacing up and down in front of it.
How big is this room?
Well, let's call it around, like, cellar-sized.
Okay.
Because that's what it is. And in various corners you see casks of what you can only assume used to be wine and beer, but now who knows what's in them. Maybe cheap wine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like remember the ghostly figure from earlier and just say, hey you, I want to ask you something. So who here is like making this magic stuff? Could you please, like, take us to them, or, like, you know, that would be great. You would just be doing us a solid, and we could do something for you in return, maybe.
You don't get any direct response.
Ghosted again.
But pacing the ghost does say just out loud, "It has to be this. This is the only thing I can think of." Or the whispers screaming. It all started when I bought this damned thing. I think I found a way to destroy it. It'll bring whatever cursed creature is causing this. It will bring it into the light, and then we can kill it. And then it fades.
Well, I'm curious what's under that cover, so I would like to walk up to it and yank it off.
Rather cinematically, Skirmish, you remove the cloth from this very tall object, and before you see a very tall, ornate mirror.
Okay. I'd like to examine the mirror.
All right.
I just have this great image of Skirmish with that taxidermy thing still on your chest in the reflection.
Oh my god. Yes.
Investigating the mirror's Skirmish, I'm not going to require a roll from you because it is fairly obvious. When you look into the mirror, what you see is very different to what you see around you. So whereas in the room you're in, while the barrels are still like over in the corner, they are covered in, some like black goo. The walls behind you are leaking some unnamed fluid, and there do appear to be several hornets' nests in various corners of the room. The less said about those, the better. But within the mirror, you see what appears to be just a regular old cellar. You see the barrels stacked up as they should be quite neatly. You see distinct lack of hornets' nests, and you see no goo whatsoever.
So I would like to drag my hand from top to bottom of the mirror to see if it's like a solid glass piece like I would expect, or if somehow my hand can go through it.
You drag your hand along the surface of the mirror, and while your hand doesn't go through it, you do feel something strange about the surface. What it is, though, you can't quite put your finger on.
What's going on, Skirmish? And
I'm gonna kind of like look past him.
Yeah.
And see.
Even though I literally have my fingers on this mirror, I kind of put my finger on what's wrong with it. There's something magical about it. Look in the mirror. It's not all goopy and gross and icky. This might be the reality we're looking in, and we're in an illusion or something like that.
A mirrored world.
I would like to use my magical awareness again and see if the mirror is different than the rest of the room.
You extend your magical awareness again, and you feel that while the mirror itself feels very similar to a lot of the other goopy horror stuff around you, you also feel like a sliver of regular world in that.
I will communicate that to my teammates.
Oh, interesting. Well, I know my magic is gonna probably do something weird, but I'm gonna try it anyways. I wonder if I try to do something on the other side, and I'm gonna try to cast Minor Illusion. I'm gonna try to, illusion a fire or something.
Okay, so you try and illusion a fire around there. Right in front of you, you end up illusioning a snowman.
Like, right in front of where I am in the room?
Yeah, right in front of you. Whereas in the mirror, you can see a fire puffing out of nowhere.
Huh. So, this is definitely our reflections in the normal world.
I would like to take out the snooker ball in my bag carefully and show it to the mirror and see what I see.
You would see an orb of unknown magical power that seems to be swirling with some sort of energy.
I have an idea. I'm gonna take out mine, and I'm gonna do something that might be really stupid.
Oh, good.
But I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna just throw it at the mirror. I'm gonna take it out and say, I wonder what happens if the mirror version touches this one, and just yeet it.
Okay. Just to check, which ball are you throwing? Because you've got the one that's you, and also quite a lot of unnamed balls.
Oh no, I kept the one that was on me, on on me physically, kind of, and then the other ones are in the portable hole. So like the one that's me.
Oh, all right. So you're throwing. Okay, yep.
Yeah, I'm throwing myself at the mirror.
Okay, yeah.
I think this is a good idea, but
You throw your ball at the mirror. In it, you see your own self throwing this orb of weird, flowy kind of magic at the mirror at the same time. And where they touch, you do see a crack appear in the mirror. But equally, you find your own self flying through the air.
As a reaction, I would like to try to intercept the real Stella and like jump through the air, catch her, and then tumble to prevent her from running into the mirror since I'm right there.
Yeah, go and make me let's make it an acrobatics roll, because you're trying to be quick and dexterous with this.
Right, not as great, a 13.
13, okay. Let's say instead of catching her, more like you barrel right into her. And while you don't cause any additional damage, you do both end up in that big pile of barrels covered in goo.
oh my god.
Oh.
So, Stella, you don't know what's worse, being covered in goo or covered in cheap white wine.
Oh yeah, definitely being covered in cheap white wine. Yeah, did I take any damage from that?
No.
I'll go over and help them up. Maybe wipe some goo off.
Oh boy. Did that do anything?
Well, I mean, yeah, you flew across the room, but I don't think it did what we wanted it to do.
Well, there is a definite crack in the mirror.
Oh, that's true. That's true. If I go run my finger on the crack, do I feel a similar to what Skirmish felt?
Since there's a crack now, you do feel like there's a force contained within the mirror. So it's almost like there's when there's a gap between the door and the frame and you feel like a breeze coming through. It's like that, but spooky.
Well, that's spooky. Okay, well, hey guys, the crack seems to have caused something, and I'll keep like putting my hand up in front of it. There's a force. There's something that's coming through. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's there. So.
Well, thank you, Skirmish, for like catching me. I do appreciate that. There's a crack there now? Interesting.
Well, yeah, there's a crack. You threw a snooker ball at a mirror. I mean...
Oh,
and sorry, do you mind cleaning my pants? They're covered in goo, and I know you're good at making stuff nice and neat.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try the regular way where I where I clean it first, and I'm gonna see. Does cleaning work? I mean, cleaning it's kind of like making it clean, you know.
You try and clean his trousers, whereas previously, what would have happened is he gets covered in something even worse. As you do so, the mirror seems to shine with a certain light. Let's say it shines kind of a reddish hue, whereas the crack itself glows blue. Once again, I didn't mean to rhyme. So instead of it going worse, what ends up happening is about half of Skirmish's trousers gets cleaned, the other half catch fire.
Catch fire? Oh no! I'm gonna cast a flame spell. Wait. Actually, do I have a flame spell? I don't have a flame spell. I have fireball, but I'm not gonna do that.
I'm going to jump back into the goo. I'll just roll around in the goo to try to get the fire out.
Well, this particular goo was covered in alcohol, so...
Oh no. I cast Shape Water. I'm gonna take out my decanter of Endless Water and cast Shape Water to make it go on Skirmish. It's a decanter of water.
Okay, yeah. So the water which you previously had brought into through magical means, that's fair enough, remains as water as it flies on top of Skirmish, putting the fire out and really ruining his afternoon.
It's all right.
Better than being on fire, I suppose.
Exactly, better than being burned.
Don't worry, team. The family jewels are still intact. Everything is fine.
So I guess if we do magic stuff, the mirror does stuff to it.
Yeah. What else could we try?
We could break the mirror all the way.
We could
Fine with that.
take a chunk out. Yeah, that's true.
Ooh, what if I cast like a lightning thing at it?
A lightning thing?
Yeah, I can make a big line of lightning. Like that's what the staff is supposed to do.
Yeah, I think Gatsby will thank us later.
Well, I guess
Yeah, it's just a mirror.
it's just a mirror. Seems maybe slightly untrue, but I'm all for it.
Hey, if that's the cost of everything returning back to the way it should be, I'm sure he'll thank us.
All right. I'm going to step back and I'm going to hide behind one of my shields.
Yeah, you guys should definitely go move far away, definitely out of 10 or 20 feet. Yeah, as far to the corners of the room as possible.
I will go to the same corner as Rook and say, hey, just like you said, right?
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. And I got 2 shields, so I'll put one in front of Skirmish.
And I'm gonna cast lightning bolt at the mirror.
Okay.
Once everyone's out of the way.
Okay, you charge up your internal magical power and channel it through the staff in what you hope will end up as a bolt of lightning. Once again, the mirror glows red. That crack you've already made glows blue. So 2 things happen. You do shoot out a bolt of lightning which connects right slap bang in the middle onto that blue crack. But also, out of that crack, a black gas seems to seep out of the mirror and fill the room, which swirls around, giving off all sorts of nasty vibes, and then reforms in a vaguely humanoid shape in front of the mirror, which the crack is getting wider and wider, just incrementally.
Well, I guess I'll go step up next to Stella, and I'm not really going to do anything, but I will at least be nearby for teammates' sake.
Definitely appreciated. So yeah, once the bolt of lightning is cast, does the crack go all the way, or is it just slightly bigger?
It's very, very, very slowly getting bigger as it stretches from one end, but there's now a black kind of shadowy figure standing in front of the mirror, and with a voice that appears from all around you says,
"Be careful, mortals. You know not whose realm you are tampering with."
Are you the one who keeps on making the nice alcohol around here bad?
It is mine.
That's good enough for me. Should we and then I kind of do the hand in the fist thing.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I have no problem messing with things I don't understand.
Yeah.
I would like to cast Sacred Flame
lovely. Okay.
on this thing.
All right, let's roll some initiative, shall we?
Hey.
Hooray.
But I will have Stella go first and then enter initiative order as per normal because she is casting.
I got a 23 on initiative.
I got a 10.
I got 18 total, and for Sacred Flame, it has to do a dexterity saving throw.
How does a 17 grab you?
That misses because my DC is 20.
Ooh.
Yeah, my charisma score is +6. Yeah, so it takes 24 points of radiant damage.
As you cast Sacred Flame, once again, the mirror lights up red and the crack glows blue, but once again, because it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, this crack, you have about half of your spell is actual Sacred Flame, the other half is necrotic nastiness, so it's all intermingled with each other.
Interesting. So, her Sacred Flame, because it comes from her patron and lover, Maelorian, it's golden, because that's, her color. So it's, this beautiful, golden, bright flame that's, has these moths radiating from it. And then, one half is, these golden moths. The other half is, black, smoky fire, kind of. And the goth kind of moths. It looks really cool.
Next up, we'll start at the top of the initiative order then. We got Rook starting things off.
So I would like to bait and switch, and I would like to swap places with Stella, and then I get to roll a dice, and you get some extra AC.
Ooh.
So you basically see Rook put a shield around you, and slide you backwards a foot or two, and then I'll just kind of step in front. So you get to add, until the start of my next turn, you have 3 extra AC. And then I guess I'll just bring my punching shield around and give it a whack and see what happens. I rolled a 20, not natural.
Okay, nice.
Does that hit?
Yes, it does.
I do 6 damage.
You thrust your punching shield into this shadowy mass, and it does seem to connect with something, but it also seems to dissipate slightly and reform once the shield is gone. Stella, you're up again.
All right, cool. So like I am extra mad that this guy messed with my horde, and he never messed with the dragon's horde. So then as a bonus action, I am going to turn into a dragon. Like I'm going to assume my dragon form because it's a feat that I have as a half dragon. So like where Stella was, you see like her draconic features kind of like extend, and then she grows like new ones. Her clothes are just like, they just blend into her kind of. And you see like a silver dragon, a very slender and like long kind of silver dragon. And she's like, never mess with my horde. And then I'm going to try to bite this thing. That's just a 13.
You snap your jaws over where this like shadowy creature was. Like it did with the shield, it dissipates around your jaws, so you end up snapping on thin air.
I see. She's angry. Yes, and that's all I can do.
Okay, the mirror glows red, like purely red, no blue whatsoever, and the shadow monster reforms its own image into that of a dragon. Stella, it looks exactly as if it's mirroring your own form, just in black smoke. So, Skirmish.
Yes.
This smoke dragon is going to do what says on Stella's character sheet as a mind sliver.
Oh my god.
So please make me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh my god.
So that intelligence save that you were asking for, I got an 8.
Okay.
If it's by DC, then definitely does not pass.
So let's do you some damage, shall we? Please take 27 psychic damage.
Oh my god.
No problem. I will remember that.
Then it's going to look over at the tasty morsel that is Rook and bite its shadowy jaws down in your general direction. So, it's an 8.
To hit?
It's a hit. I rolled very low.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, doesn't hit.
So you manage to duck out of the way as these shadowy, snappy jaws close in the area above your head.
Okay.
And you feel like you've dodged death for a second time today.
A wistful look appears on my face.
If only.
So close.
All right, Skirmish, you're up.
Okay, so number 1, I would like to rage as a bonus action. When I do that, I get a wild surge of magic because I'm Path of Wild Magic. And I rolled an 8, which means I get to shoot a bolt of light out of my chest at the creature of my choice, which is going to be the Shadow Man. And then he, or she, or they, must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. So go ahead and roll that.
Okay, that will be a 16.
Aha, you fail. It had to be an 18. So you get 1d6 radiant damage, which is a 3, and you're blinded until my next turn. After that, I will attack you with my hammer, and I got a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, roll for damage. That is a 24 damage. And then I get to attack again, and I'm going to do something I've not done before. I was blessed with the funniest joke in the world in my last session, so I'm about to tell you the funniest joke in the world. So what you need to do is make a wisdom saving throw.
I rolled low. That's a 12.
Ah, you failed. That was a DC 18. So I need you to now roll a 1d4.
Brave of you to assume I've got a d4 out. There it is. 1.
Okay, you are paralyzed for 1 round. So you're blinded and paralyzed.
Having a good time.
And I think that's the end of my turn.
Okay. With getting smashed in various areas by Skirmish, the shadow dragon reverts to its regular bland humanoid form and starts trying to fight against the magic that's keeping it there.
This is my domain. You do not belong here. I own it. It's all mine.
I meant to say, the reason you're paralyzed is because you're laughing your arse off for a round, and you can't control it.
Fine, we'll change it to.
This isn't fun.
Cool. All right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I got it. All right, back at the top of initiative. Rook, you're up. You've got quite an easy target.
Curious, though, about what's going on with the mirror at this moment.
With the mirror, the crack is getting wider and wider. Stella, you're a resident magic-y sort. Could you make me an Arcana check while we're
Arcana.
we're
Okay.
here?
11 plus 0 is 11.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
You've never been in this situation, but you've smashed a load of mirrors in your time. You get the feeling that when the crack reaches the edges, the mirror is going to smash.
Yeah, makes sense.
That does check out. Well, I'll just stick with what works, and I will do some attacks then. Well, hang on. Is attacking it a problem for the paralyzation?
I believe you get advantage.
Yeah. And if you're within 5 feet, it's a critical hit.
Okay. I'll just regular old hit it then. So I got a 18 with advantage for my first attack for 6 damage, and then another 18 for 9 damage for my second attack. Yeah, that's all I'll do for now. And I'll just make sure I'm still positioned in such a way that I'm in front of Stella.
For defense purposes?
Yes, for defense purposes. Shields up, blocking, etc. I don't think I have any bonus actions. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. I have a cool one. I'm going to use one of my superiority dices to direct an ally that I can see or hear to strike using its reaction. Does anyone want to attack it using their reaction?
I could.
Okay. And then you get to add a d10 to whatever your damage roll is.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
It's basically Rook saying, "Hey, Stella, now would be a great time to hit it again. You should do that right now."
See, I'm gonna try to bite it with my dragon jaws. So I get advantage, right? Good, because my first one was a natural 1. The second one was a natural 19 plus 10 is 29.
Ooh. Yes,
Nice.
that definitely hits.
And that would be a critical hit. So it does, because like my staff is like two-handed, it does 2d6. Because like basically my bonus for my magic gets applied to my bite. So it does 17 points of damage. And also I have this thing where I can like add 16 points if I damage a creature with a bite or something. So extra 16 points of cold damage.
So, you clamp your jaws down on the smoky being, and there's all sorts of like cold coming off your teeth, nostrils, and everything. And you kind of end up almost like trapping it in your jaws, like you've got a biscuit in your mouth. You're just holding it there, waiting to swallow. You can feel it kind of trying to push its way out, but it's currently paralyzed.
I just bite down harder.
Yeah, so you've got it in your jaws at the moment.
I have like, how does it taste?
It tastes like burnt rubber,
Yeah.
which checks out.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
But also looking at the mirror, you see the cracks start to widen a bit, and you think it will only be mechanically maybe about one more round until the mirror shatters.
All right, that was a good turn. Whose turn is it?
It is the shadow creature's turn. Were there any provisos along with the old paralysis?
I just believe you're laughing for 1d4 rounds.
Okay.
So you're just laughing.
Just laughing, and
It's the funniest joke in the world. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
know.
So Stella, inside your mouth, you hear like just muffled laughing and a bit of laughing, cursing. Yeah, like that. And maybe a small amount of smoke just leaves your nostrils, a little bit of black smoke, but nothing corporeal. Stella, you've got a shadow monster in your mouth. What do you do with it?
Well, some smoke just came out of my nostrils, so of course I'm gonna sneeze, but my sneeze is gonna be a dragon breath. So I'm going to, and it's like an extra powerful one because I'm going to empower it a bit. So it's like it's a 66 of cold damage for just a total of 27 damage. Yeah, that's my action. Oh, wait, it has to do a con save.
23.
That passes, so it just takes half of that. So half of 27, 14. Yeah, it takes that much damage, 13 points. And then I'm going to, I'm going to cast Binding Ice on it, so to do some more damage. So that is a certain number of d8s.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm using Quicken Spell to make it my bonus action. For a total of another 12 points of piercing damage. Oh yeah, also you gotta make a con save.
18.
18. Oh, that fails because this is my sorcerer constitution. It's not my dragon one. So yeah, that fails. So it takes the full 12 points of damage, and it is bound. It is currently like restrained, essentially. Its speed is 0.
Well, I mean, bear in mind it was currently paralyzed and also in your mouth. But
Yep.
but all right, what does this enormous dragon sneeze look like?
So basically it's just like, it's just a sneeze, but it's a really cold one, and then it just like crystallizes into this like crystalline blue ice pattern that spans like 30 feet across the room, and he's trapped inside of it. It takes a whole action to get out of it.
Okay, well, I will go one further than that and say that you rear back your head and catapult this like frozen, paralyzed, laughing shadow creature. The cold travels with it as it hits the mirror at the same time that the cracks reach the edge, and it explodes in a magical wave of ice, glass, shadow, and laughter. And the world around you seems to shimmer somewhat with as magical waves like wash over you. You all feel like you're almost turning inside out. This is what this feels like. But your vision all kind of darkens just for a second. But then when it comes back, you look around yourselves and you are still in the cellar, but the walls are not dripping anymore. The hornet's nests are no longer there. Stella, if you care to go and have a look, the casks are filled with the finest mead.
Yeah, I'm still a dragon because I can be in this form for a minute. So I just like kind of, just like use my like the hooks on the end of my wings to open the door and just like look in, and I sniff, and it's just like, oh, yes, and then I turn back to my regular form, and I'm just like, this I have this horrible taste of burnt rubber in my mouth. I got to wash it off with some brandy, and I just like drink a bunch of brandy.
And standing in front of the three of you is one large smashed mirror.
Is it completely ruined? Can we still look through it into the reflection world?
No, the only reflection you get from the shards still attached are of the room you're currently in.
I would like to pick up a piece of glass just as a souvenir.
And also, I should mention, Skirmish, the tiger around your neck feels non-magical now. You've just got a taxidermic tiger head.
Well, that's just weird. I'll go ahead and dump that.
I want to go peek out the cellar door because we got here a weird way before. So I want to open the door and peek out and see if I can see any of our friends either.
Where you seem to find yourself is back in the pantry, but this time it is filled with wheels of cheese and empty like serving dishes and other things you keep in pantries besides cheese. Crackers, I guess.
Well, I found the pantry, guys. It's not a hallway of sucking carpet anymore. Maybe we can go out this way and see. I don't know, and see.
Yeah, between swigs of brandy, Stella's just like, we found the pantry? Great.
I'm going to see if there's any jars of jam. I feel like I would want to take some just jam with me as a souvenir.
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. You've got jars of jam, you've got jars of honey, you've got jars of mayonnaise, you've got jars of pickled onions, you've got jars and jars and jars.
Well, I'll take a little bit of pickled onions. That sounds wonderful. And then I'll head up, I guess, unless you guys want to do anything else.
I'd like to try to find Lenny and Gatsby.
Yeah, me too.
Well, funny you should say that, because as you climb out of the cellar into just the main pantry area, and then there is that door which leads back into the the kitchen dining room area. And you open the door and you see, just sat there enjoying themselves, is Gatsby and Larry just having a good time, sipping wine with each other, laughing about something you can't really tell. As you wander through the door covered in all sorts, they look over at you and Gatsby says, that's where you got to. I was wondering.
Gatsby, Lenny, good to see you. By the way, don't mind the mirror over there. It was like that when we saw it.
Well, I've heard of that one before.
No, honestly, it was looking okay, but I looked into it and it couldn't handle how good looking I am, and it just cracked. It's just like, I never need to see another face again.
I know that's when I came and looked in it.
Oh, right. I meant Stella.
Well, I know who I'm likely to leave on that one.
Well, we had a bit of a moment in time. What have you guys been? Have you just been hanging out and just eating?
No, if you'll remember, we ended up with the same word plane as you did. But you guys just disappeared. I was tying my shoelaces and then suddenly you were gone. But it's okay. Larry and I, we teamed up, and there was this weird blob monster in the toilets. We took care of that, and Larry just took care of business down there, and we set up a shop in the kitchen. As it turns out, he's actually quite a good chef. Yeah, we just hung out, had a good time, waited till you turn back, and the world changed around us, and well, here we are.
Cool. By the way, his name's Lenny.
Well, who?
You know how these rich guys are, Stella, with their
I
manners.
mean, Larry, Lenny, it's all the same to me. They didn't correct me, did you? And he pokes Lenny. Oh, I think he's fallen asleep.
I go over to Lenny and I say, "Hey, Lenny, thank you for saving us from that plane of magical ickiness. I really appreciate it." And I kind of slap him on the back again.
Would you mind just doing me a quick, for old time's sake, strength check?
Sure. That was a 20, modified 20.
Yeah, Lenny goes careering into the wall. Wakes up very, very startled and quite injured. Says, What sort of person does that?
Just saying thank you.
And then I'm going to use Healing Light and give him 2d6 of healing, which is just 5 points of healing. It's just I hope it doesn't do some weird necrotic effect. Just putting that out there.
You cast your magic, and as intended, the golden light shines out and heals up Lenny's injured nose, because he hit the wall nose first, as we all know.
As you do.
And as that happens, the clock you can hear from the entrance hall starts bonging again. And Skirmish, you will have read in your guide to Albion that clocks only bong at midnight and sunrise for no understandable reason.
Right, exactly.
For narrative purposes.
Right.
For narrative purposes. Clocks only bong at midnight and sunrise.
Can I pull out the orb/ball that was me out of my bag?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that now? I'm curious.
That is now a swirling ball of energy.
If I tap it on the table, does anything happen?
You set off a hurricane in a far distant corner of the planet. But you're not to know that.
Oh, all right.
Does it bounce? I'm gonna bounce right up and down.
Okay, a tidal wave gets set off in another part of the planet.
Oh my god.
Skirmish, do you want to do anything irresponsible with yours?
Probably not. I'll just look at them and go, I guess nothing's happening, so, well, what you gonna do?
Just keep it in my bag for now.
Well, as the sun rises over the cliffs of Calcool, it's time to actually start the party.
Oh, of course.
You've survived the night. Gatsby has more or less fulfilled his legal obligations, and there is now a cellar full of actual booze to get stuck into.
Yay!
Hooray!
A happy ending.
And a happy ending for all.
except for the natural disasters.
Apart from the natural disasters, everyone's having a good time.
Oh, man. I like to imagine that during the party we just periodically roll the balls into each other and just, like, click them together, completely unaware of the chaos
And
we're
then
causing.
a volcano goes off somewhere. Yeah.
I will try to bite mine.
Okay, well, that's an earthquake. So I hope you enjoy this humanitarian crisis going forward. That'll be next year's season-long arc where you've just caused all these natural disasters. But speaking of good times, I hope you've had a good time listening to this episode. If you fancy dropping it as a review, we love to read them. And if you want, we can read them out on air if they're particularly nice. Otherwise, you can go and listen to our entire back catalogue. You don't have to do it in any particular order, and usually it's more fun if you just drop in on a random episode and see what chaos unfolds. But for now, though, let's bid a swift sunrise to Skirmish.
Well, I'm ready for the party. Thank you so much for inviting me.
And Stella.
This ball is so fun to play with.
And Rook.
I love these pickled onions.
Well, we'll catch you next week for another episode of the Fire Breathing Kittens podcast. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Stocks for beginners.
Our management score turned up for Twitter right before Elon Musk made the buyout offer.
A clear pathway to profitability and cash flow positivity.
If you have a strategy, you want to stick to it.
Whether we like it or not, we're all investors in the stock market, either directly or through our retirement plans. We're handing over management of our assets to financial advisors and mutual funds.
Well, where's all the customers' yachts?
Where do you go if you're completely new but want to start learning?
Many confusing metrics, aren't there?
Many confusing, man, so crazy.
You'll hear from people in the finance industry, and together we'll explain the key concepts of investing while they share their financial knowledge.
We have to be smart, we have to be diversified, and we have to have good risk management strategies if we want to invest for the long term, and that's what we're all about.
Join me if you want to learn more about investing, the stock market, and finance. Stocks for Beginners podcast. Let's learn together.
The Brick Pit Podcast, the podcast you didn't know you didn't need. We talk about film theory, history, as well as television, genres, and a cavalcade of topics on our favorite medium.
Like I've said before, try watching Rocky Horror Picture Show by yourself.
Right? That's the perfect example. That's a sad experience. What is a brick pit? Any minor detail in a film that breaks your suspension of disbelief, such as the bottomless pit in the movie 300. Who bricked it? The more wild the movie, the harder the brick pit hits. I'm glad that nerds don't have to go through that anymore, but I can't help that through my formative years, it was an unkind world for somebody like me. So I'm a little salty. The Brick Pit